Should be going live. Says we are. Check the thing. Should be going live. Hey, what's up? We're live. How's it going, everybody? We today have a domination tournament. Don't turn it off yet. Hold on. Just give it a second. So it's 2v2. Queden's hosting it. He asked me if I wanted to participate. I said sure. I have been assured by several people who say domination sucks that domination with two people is actually better. So let's see. Maybe I've never seen the 2v2 domination game. I've heard it's pretty cool. If it sucks, we will end the stream immediately. I will never talk to Queden again. I will burn down my house and start living on the side of the railroad tracks. All right? Deal? Shake on it? Good. Shoo. What do we got? 1 minute till this thing starts. Cool. Queden's in the chat, sorting out some last minute stuff. We'll start in 5. Okay. Strange calling you human hubby. I have a hubby too. It's not allowed. No one in the world is allowed to be married because I exist, apparently. Got to play Warhammer 2 GB, so today was a good day. Warhammer 2 GB? What is GB? The Warhammer 2 is good. Queden, I vouched for you, man. I vouched for you, alright? I said at the start, I was assured it is cool. I'm not a domination fan myself, but 2v2 always makes things a little more spicy. D3 Willow throwing in an early donation. Thank you so much, dude. And speaking of domination, left screen. On my Discord, Filthy Rat Den, currently have domination questions. There you are. For Random Nix, if you don't know Random Nix, he recently won Turin's Faction War, the most recent Faction War there was. And he was also towards the top of the ranked leaderboard for domination. He was master tier on land battles in Warhammer 2. So I got an interview with him because it's no secret, I'm not a big fan of land battles 1v1. Domination mode 1v1. So it wouldn't do you any good to ask me questions about it. Thought we'd get somebody who's very, very good at the game and is passionate about domination mode. Ask him why it's fun, what there is to like about it if maybe we're missing something. And for people that actually do enjoy it, hey, Queden was one of the first questions saying, why is it only fun in 2v2? Anyway, if you actually care about domination mode, you can get some good answers to your questions, maybe get a little bit better. So feel free to join our Discord, throw your questions in here. That stream will be on the 21st. If you haven't seen one of the interview streams before, it's just me and him talking. I read off your questions, giving credit to who. So let's say we ask this adoring fan question. It's I would say, adoring fan asks, what was this made for again? Etc. So, fulfill your narcissistic tendencies. Get mentioned on stream. Do it. Anyway, what was I doing? There. We're back. What up, Doomsage? Matthew Coffin, that's you in the Discord? Hell yeah! You played one 3v3 domination a while ago and that sucked. No chat box, so I could not cuss at my teammates. I assume voice chat is kind of key. Nurgle is not the best for multiplayer? In general, no. But Nurgle does have two extremely good matchups versus Khorne and Slaanesh. They're very, very, very good. Though the meta's still being figured out, so it's kind of hard to really say, someone sucks or someone doesn't suck. Let's take a look at Nurgle, though. His roster's small. His Plague Toads aren't very good, which is unfortunate. I think the Rot Flies are close to being good, but the one with the Death Heads just don't have enough ammo. 7 ammo, who cares? They don't even do that much damage. Their missile strength is 125, but in-game it's not really that good. They're pretty bad. I think Slaanesh is getting a bad rap. I recently played a couple games of Slaanesh, and they seem okay. People say they're as bad as Nurgle, but I think that's overreacting just a little bit. I don't know. Their strength comes from Marauders. That's the key. Some people try to use their chariots, which are bugged as shit right now, so don't do that. They don't work. Or they try to use Furies, which I think Furies are overutilized. They're kind of expensive for a waste of gold. But if you spam a bunch of Marauders with good Cav support and then pretty good Winds of Magic on this roster, it can be pretty good. I beat Khorne the other day, which is considered a really bad matchup for Slaanesh, so... I don't know. Stop hating on Slaanesh. They're okay. I still think Cathay and Tzeentch are the two strongest. I also think... Well, I think Slaanesh is underrated. I personally... Alright, get ready to smash that dislike button. I think Ogre Kingdoms are overrated. I think they're overrated, dude. Everybody's like, best faction, hands down, no problem. I'm not seeing it. When I play them, they feel okay. And when I play against them, I can usually beat them. I feel like it's fine. Alright. Wicked saying hello. Matthew Coffin, is ODM Tretch a good player? Yeah, he's good. I like Tretch. He's pretty good. He's about my level. So, you know, like, if I play Void Lulls, I'll probably lose. But if I play Quick Battles, I win like 90% of them, so it's... Take that. But yeah, Tretch is about my level. He's pretty good. Nurgle's best against faction with melee spam because of stacking melee defense. Yeah, 100% Mr. Zeus. Which, that has to be addressed before Game 2 races come in, because Nurgle will be horrifically terrible when the Game 2 races are added. Because one of the only reasons he can even sort of exist in Game 3 is the lack of ranged. But once you get any factions at all with basic archers, Nurgle's fucked. Totally fucked. Zergash, how you doing? Kiara, it's good. As soon as they get their chariots fixed, Slaanesh should be great. Yeah, Slaanesh should be pretty good. That is based. Take you. Alright, what do we got? I'm getting pings. Has the tournament started? We're live! Hey, let's go! Okay, I gotta find a game. We're live. Aw, dude. Platypus? We're watching the Platypus game. No, they get a bye? What the shit? Alright. What game do we want to watch? Come with me. Let's check out the bracket. Swarv and Agony Teddy. We have Smuggle Nut. Don't know what Smuggle Nut is. I'll have to look. Smuggle Nut. Is that Honey Nut? Wait. What is Smuggle Nut? Oh, okay. Chef Boyardee and Smuggle Nut. I don't know either of those players. It might be fun to spectate them. Hanadins plus Ellen Trigger versus Evenstar and Void. Boom, tournament favorite. Calling it right now. VM Grave Fertilizer plus Wisp. ODM Calzone Fury. Shidoku and Zyphos. World Beater 68 versus Ulda and Houseplant. Let's go watch that. Let's watch that. We love World Beater. I will message them and we'll get into the game. At World Beater and at Houseplant, I want to spectate. Houseplant's very, very good. Very good at 2v2 formats. I don't know if he's lost a 2v2 in any tournament that I've seen. Oh, I think he lost to Evenstar and Void, which is like, okay. Yeah, you're probably going to lose that. But World Beater's been a friend of the channel. Be good to see him in action. Who's messaging me? It's a lobby code. Got it. Houseplant, I can just see you because we're buddies. Boom. We're in. It is best of one until the finals. So it should be nice and crisp today. Oh, what's going on? Nurgle versus Wood Elves will be fun. Oh, Lord. Don't get me started on Nurgle versus Wood Elves. Boom. Little blocker, just so I can't see their armies. It's Lord Baltimore and World Beater. Houseplant and Ulda. The only person I don't know in this room is Ulda. Baltimore's pretty chill. He's a good dude. One of the AIMA lads. The bit for today is random lords and factions. The Discord that is being hosted on is in the description. It's Queden's Discord. Well, Queden, Chixie, Geese Howard, a bunch of people, but Queden's the one who normally talks to me, so I just say his name. But they do have a little bot that'll give you a random faction. And it says random lord, but how is that determined? If you type the command random factions bot channel, roll 2 random factions and lords. Oh, okay, so the bot does both. Cool. That'll be neat. Random factions, especially with only 7 factions in the entire game, is probably the only way to get to see some stuff like Nurgle or whatever. Otherwise, every game would just be, you know, I go Tzeentch and Ogres versus Tzeentch and Ogres. You gotta buy. Yeah. Dude, I'm spectating that Platypus game. No matter what. I'm gonna message them ahead of time. Platypus is a G. Want to spectate your game, FYI. Okay. 24 people, only 9 likes. Go ahead and like. Don't be lazy. We love being lazy in this house. Nurgle can't beat the most OP race Norska. Actually, probably not. Norska skirmish cav plus... Like, wouldn't skin wolves do amazing versus Nurgle, or am I on drugs? Anti-large, low armor. Void and Evenstar? Yeah, they team up a lot. Why is your blocker a picture of me getting hit by the sunlight in the morning? I just picked a random picture I liked to be the blocker from my board game. That's the Fiend. I could get a different one if it really upsets you that badly. Image file. Let's get a different one since the Fiend has upset the lad. I could get Cthulhu, but I'll pass on that. I'll pass on that. Sure, this one. This one's fun. Oh, the nice part about the Fiend, though, is he was the right proportions to block the whole screen. Because if I move this guy, you can kind of see the tail end of their units. So we're not doing that one. Not doing it. In the background, they're just building armies. It looks like our final thing is Kislev and Cathay versus Khorne and Nurgle. That looks pretty bad for Khorne and Nurgle. I'm not going to lie. Though if Nurgle can heal Khorne units, maybe that'll be good, but it depends entirely upon if that interaction works right. What are the dimensions on this one? Oh, maybe better. Yeah, that works. Alright, we'll get this one up so that Doomsage is not as upset. Team 1 has it hard, they really do. Khorne and Nurgle's not gonna have fun against the shooty shoots. Norska blocker when? Never know when to join them either. I have a tab in my Discord at the very top called Tournaments. You can just, whenever you see a notification there, it's tournament related. Because I have the settings turned off so people can't just type random bullshit in there. It has to be, I'm hosting a tournament for this reason. And if you're not hosting that, I'll delete the post and sit you down and ask you what the fuck you think you're doing. Thalassophobia kicks in. I want Rattlings back too. I do. I miss my Skaven. I've been spamming just Cathay. I'm a filthy Cathay one trick because they're the closest to my playstyle in this game. What sucks is Tzeentch is also fun, but in all the worst ways. I've recently taken up a bit of Tzeentch. His Chaos Knights are one of the only cavalry units that feels any good. And the shields are so strong. And spamming blue fire on people with Kairos, it's toxic. It's horrific. It's awful. It takes no skill. But it feels good. It feels good. I fought a couple Ogre Kingdoms the other day with Tzeentch, and HW's stream is going to cover that because I got to the finals in his tournament and we had a pretty good scrap. But let's just say I was just spamming blue fire at a bunch of Ogre Lords, and they don't have very much armor ever. They took a ton of damage. It was great. So, Tzeentch is a little bit of a guilty pleasure right now. I've been enjoying Slaanesh when I play them. You have to be careful about when you play them, though. Because they can get countered pretty easily, but in the matchups that they're good, they're good. Other than that, I don't know. I'm trying to learn Kislev because they're very strong, but they feel boring. Because one of the only good ways to play them is like Chariot blobbing, and that gets old pretty quick. Had a triple rattling gun build not 20 minutes ago. Well, that's Giga Chad. Did it win? Because I doubt it did, but maybe it did. Boom, boom, boom. You can't even get... Why? You can't get rattling guns from Skaven allies? Why? That's weird. I've also been playing the Kislev campaign in my own time. Single player, not streaming it. It's super fun. I basically just ignore the fact that the rifts exist. I close them in my own lands and I'm running around. I went into the realm of Slaanesh just to get 15,000 bucks because Slaanesh is like, get out of my land, I will give you money. I go, thanks, chief, and then I go build a bunch of buildings. Charged into some cav stuff and died. Oof. Yeah. The Kairos campaign is a pain. I haven't played it at all. What is it? I have not seen that, Kiara. Pack was strong, charging snoot, getting stuck in the air. It would be nice to not get stuck in the air. So, domination mode, huh? I am an expert in this mode. I am going to be very insightful and super good. Cathay and Kislev, we have 4 Chariots, hooray, Tsarina Katerin. We have some Streltsy, and on the far side, Kossars with Spears. Very good unit. We have Zhao Ming. Interesting. Normally you would think to see Miao Ying, since she has healing. Zhao Ming just he gets the health he gets, and that's all he has. We have Kossars with Spears, Peasant Archers. Sorry, I said the Kossars. Peasant Archers, Jade Warriors with Halberds, 1 Grand Cannon, and 2 more Peasant Long Spearmen. A lot of ranged from the start of Cathay and Kislev. I imagine they have most of their cavalry and melee units in the reserve, so they get their ranged into position, start shooting, and then support them later. For Khorne and Nurgle, Fleshhounds, Nurglings, 2 Cultists of Khorne, 1 Scarbrand, Exalted Great Unclean One of Nurgle, 2 Cultists, some Plague Bearers, more Fleshhounds, and more Nurglings. This side probably wants to just stay out of range. Like, it's not really beneficial to go past that line. Where's the cannon range? Yeah. Just get within the cannon range, like just outside it, and then don't move in. You have 3 minutes till you need to capture the points. There's no reason to go out and get shot. Build up some supplies, get some reinforcements. Could take the high ground to some of these forests. Hide from stuff up there, but don't walk into the fire. Ogre build for versing Kislev. Ogre build versus Kislev. 2 Gorgers, Scrag, so you can lock down the Chariot blob. Then they're going to have a bunch of Kossars and Kossars with Spears, so you probably want to max out on those Saber Tusks, like the War Kitties. 5 Noblars is never a bad idea. I'm trying to think of what they will even do for you. Lead Belchers, if you have a little bit of money to poke, 200 range is pretty high concerning Kislev. You can see the Chariots only have 140. And Kislev doesn't have any artillery besides Little Grom, so Lead Belchers can actually outrange most of Kislev stuff. And that's most of your core. Any money you have left, throw into some Ogre Bowls, and that's a good build. It's fine. You just got to be careful. Play around the Lead Belchers. Focus down the Chariots. DLC units are locked, and they don't even seem to be able to be building. Oh, that's lame. The Game 2 units don't even have their DLCs. That's dumb. Scarbrand takes a little bit of a poke from the cannon. He's not going to enjoy that whatsoever, though he does have healing buddies. Actually, the Quadruple Chariots are also doing a number on him. A little bit of lag at the moment. What do we have coming in for reinforcements? Hey, Cav and melee units. I was right about something. Nurgle and Khorne. Looks like they're calling upon Furies. They have positioned on point 3 already. Looks like Queden and Kislev don't care about that. Just gonna let them have it. They seem to want to play for the middle point and point number 1. Xiaoming makes a great one-man doom stack. Did they fix the snow? I don't think so. Well, maybe. I don't know. It feels pretty easy to see. Out in the light, it's harder to see stuff. But in the shadows, it's okay. Cultist spam? Hell yeah, dude. Someone's OP. Furies are trying to tie up these light war sleds, but they don't really have any mass, so the sleds should be able to path through them as they want. They'll get out of here fine and dandy. I'm curious about Kislev and Cathay, neither of them bring in healing. Kislev probably has a Patriarch in the reinforcements they're going to call up soon, otherwise the Chariot Blob is infinitely less effective if it can't be healed forever. Also, Xiaoming with no healing is a little weird. Like, if they don't have a Patriarch in their reserves, I'm going to flip this table and quit. That's how confident I am. Nurgle and Khorne are at last in combat, around point 1. Trying to push things off, but Jade Warriors with Halberds ain't going nowhere. And the War Sleds are pulling away. I think the only change I would make about Domination mode... Well, not the only change, but the one I think most people would agree on is don't have the capture points take so long to unlock. Probably just a minute and a half is fine. Bloodletters getting spawned. Looks like some Plague Bearers and Nurgle are also getting spawned, and they're committing pretty heavily for point 1. I would hope they'd be able to take it for how much the Chaos Force has invested up here in the melee. In the center, 2 Fleshhounds of Khorne are chilling. They're taking a lot of fire, though. This might not be the best. They're waiting for this to unlock, but I think the Peasant Longspearmen should be able to hold it decently well while they get shot from afar. Demons are crumbling. Scarbrand has found Xiaoming, and with no healing presently on the battlefield, the Iron Dragon's going to want to be a little careful there. Alright. Personally, I think Chaos is going to take points 1 and 3, and then they kind of hold point 2. And an early 3-point capture will be a nice start. Now, there's the comeback mechanic, so maybe Kislev and Cathay are just fine with falling behind right away, but who knows. Wait. How the hell? How is the red team taking point 1 right now? There's half that unit, there's 2 infantry units, there's some single entities. How is the red team taking this? What? What the fuck? That's illegal. Like, fuck are you taking this point? You have 1 halberdier here. Okay, I'm upset. That's very upsetting. Alright, point 3 has been taken by Nurgle and Khorne. And somehow point 1 is going to get taken by Kislev. Nope! Nurgle. What? What? Wait, did anybody else see that? Am I on drugs? That was red, like a second ago, right? What the fuck? Whatever. This is getting claimed by the red team, and I think the red team will actually take it. Probably. Red. Big pile up of Fleshhounds. This is super good for Khorne, actually. Jade Lancers are horrific. That's 800 gold of wasted value, unfortunately, for them. And the Streltsy and Kossars, while they are decent melee combatants, they're not incredible. And the Fleshhounds of Khorne / basic dogs should be able to take all them out. Nurgle and Khorne are doing their best to just grind up here. This is one thing Nurgle is good at. Now, normally, he's bad at Domination mode because he's very slow to get reinforcements, but maybe with Khorne's fast dogs, that'll be okay. Xiaoming turns into Dragon form just to get out of here. Really needs to buy himself something. Hey, let's go, Patriarch! I knew it! I called it! I told you there was healing. You all were like, Human Boy, you dumb piece of garbage. You don't know what you're talking about. Well, there it is. Dogs getting routed off. The Peasant Longspearmen come off the point to start killing them. Still decent for Khorne, though. Getting a lot of damage down in the middle. Holding this point, and 3 is uncontested. So a good early state of game for the 2 Chaos lads. Good for them. And rampaging Xiaoming down into Scarbrand and the Exalted Great Unclean One is very good. Scarbrand's close to his healing cap, so you can tell that actually, yes, Nurgle has been spamming healing on him. Xiaoming is getting routed, and if you lose your Lord early on in Domination mode, it's very hard to get them back. They're super expensive to get out of your reserves. So usually if you lose the Lord right away, they ain't coming back. Patriarch is trying to heal him up and peel off Scarbrand just a little bit. I think Xiaoming will get out of here, but that is not the entire battle. Fleshhounds of Khorne are going to rip into the Iron Hill Gunners. They'll be charged by the light war sleds, though. And this is why the sled blob is so popular. It can just kill things in melee while being really good at kiting. What is this? Some sort of Kislevite trickery. Is that Blizzard? No, it's that weird ice crown that Katarn has. Okay, does a little bit of damage. Nurgle and Khorne are off to a good start. In domination mode, you can't count anybody out ever, but I really like what they've been doing. They're performing a lot better than I thought they would. Scarbrand's fallen back. Needs to wait for a little bit more healing from Papa Nurgle if they can get it. Heart of Winter also thrown down. That's a lot of magic committed to this area just to kill some Nurgle infantry, which will actually buff up Nurgle by killing some of his guys. Scarbrand's getting poked in the butt by this Patriarch who's much faster than him. He should probably just turn and fight. He's not going to get away, so he's just going to keep getting poked and poked and poked. Get these dogs. Get these... Ooh, Skull Crushers! Yes! I love this unit, even though they're usually not very good, in my opinion. Slow Heavy Cav is not the way to go in this game, usually, these days. I still love that unit. Very cool. Alright. Scarbrand does kite away from the Patriarch just a little bit. Where's the Exalted Grid Clean one? There he is. He's a little overextended. Yeah, he's going to get pulled back here from Lord Baltimore. It's a lot of archers. Nurgle's worst enemy. Up and about. Cathay and Kislev are winning in damage value. But they're behind about 1,000 points on the scorecard. Not super good. Red is taking 0.1, and I think they should be taking it, but you never know. You never know. Zhao Ming's back. A little bit of healing for him. Some cultists of Khorne have been forgotten, and that is a bit of a tragedy. They need to get orders to at least attack something on their way out. And Nurgle and Khorne are falling back. I wonder how their resources are doing. Not good. You can see Cathay and Kislev actually have more resources in the tank than them, and they're swarming over this area right now, so that's not good. That's bad, actually, for Khorne and Cathay. I mean, Khorne and Nurgle. How's chat? Skaven stole the nukes. You forgot the nukes. Saves that cultist spam. Yes, yes. That's where the chat was. Big Halberd unit. Empire. Red Khorne. Yeah. Colorblind mode is weird. Nurgle and Khorne are making a push for the central point. I think they got to take out these chariots in some fashion. Actually, the Blood Crushers, the Skull Crushers, whatever the hell that unit was, can probably do a decent job there. Probably. Heavily armored, armor-piercing cavalry can still kind of lock in the chariots. The mass is a little confusing. Chaos Furies of Nurgle coming in. I don't know what for unless they get back to the ranged area, but if they just dive on a front line, that is a waste of a unit, so be careful about that. Should follow up with Slaanesh Body Wash. Knees and toes. Well, Kiara, don't count him out yet. Houseplant is very good, and also Cathay and Kislev seem to be resurgent here. Skull Crushers have caught up to the high ground. Jade Lancers are going to try to hold them off, and that's adorable. That's just the cutest thing I've ever seen. So they'll rout any second now. It's about whether or not the chariots can escape. Looks like they are going to go that way. Give me my pointy stick. Pointy stick. Probably want to leave. Maybe rear charge these cav units. Maybe not. Maybe we'll see. Who's messaging me? Okay. Is it true this guy has won a lot of tournaments? Okay. Where Nakai? He's coming. Nakai's in the reinforcements, of course. Hey, a Soul Grinder of Nurgle. How long have you been there using your ammunition and almost running out? This unit, when I first got Warhammer 3, the Soul Grinder of Nurgle excited me because it was like Poison Mortars, but then I realized it was like Poison Mortars if they sucked and had no ammunition, so... Not a super big fan of that unit. Jade Lancers are dying, as we suspected. And it looks like the chariots are actually going to take the fight against the backup unit of Blood Crushers. That's not a good idea. Big charge. Does a little bit of damage, but chariots are kind of slippery, so they'll just walk away, it would seem. Don't tell me units have been destroyed, Mr. Man. I'll tell you when units have been destroyed. Cultist Nurgle just chilling. He's been here for like 35 years all alone. He's vibing. And how's it going? Point 3 is actually getting contested. And that's a dangerous force. 2 little cats, some more Jade Lancers, some Peasant Spearmen, and yeah, the demons are going to lose that. Middle point, they are also losing, and they lost the top point. So they're going to get triple caps. And this is where Nurgle really starts to struggle. How do you retake a point? Slowly walk at it. Nurgle may be slow, but they're hard to get off a point when they have it. True. Ain't the Skull Crushers like the Warbear Riders? They are very similar. Therian, either that or they're dripping down to air for some reason because total only 3. When Blue Phoenix gets Frostbite, call me. Why doesn't the Frostheart Phoenix have Frostbite? They don't have anti-large with probably less mass. True, but chariots can still get blocked up in them pretty good. Warhammer 3 is the best Soul Grinder. That's the most depressingly accurate thing I've ever seen. The Nurgle Soul Grinder is a fine melee combatant, so it's an okay unit. It's just that its range attack isn't, like, spectacular. Big route in the middle. Chaos will start to take the central point, but as you can see, the top point is taken away, and the other side is also taken away. We are about tied in score, so the red team is going to start to pull ahead just barely. As far as reserves go, both equal, just about 1,000, a little less. Cathay and Kislev are massively out-damaging their foes, so that's bad. And the Exalted Great and Clean One is going to fade away. Goodbye, Mortis Engine. Goodbye, Spellcaster. That is a big problem. I am personally going to guess that from this point, Kislev and Cathay will snowball to a victory. But we'll see. Without the Nurgle Lord, though, you're going to struggle really hard. I don't know where Scarbrand is. I think he's either been dead for a while or just chilling in the back. Don't know. Khorne is the best Soul Grinder. I have a video about that thing. I don't actually know how its use is as a unit. I haven't played a ton with it, but I know it sucks at shooting down balloons. Spawn of Nurgle gonna lock up some chariots. God, these chariots, though. They haven't even been getting healed. That's the problem. There's a Patriarch around here somewhere? Yeah, over here that could run to this area and passively heal up all of these chariots back to full health. They haven't lost many models, I don't think. What are you at? 3 out of 4. 4 out of 4. 3 out of 4. 4 out of 4. Alright. Out of 12 chariots, we've lost 2 models. Big boohoo. Khorne and Nurgle making a big push for point 3. That does make sense. It's the closest to their spawn point. No real support nearby for the Snow Leopards. They are getting worn down a little bit. The only thing defending is Jade Lancers, which I've already mentioned how I feel about them. Trash unit. Nurgle and Khorne are desperately trying to hold the middle point. And I think they should give up on taking point 1. Look at all these forces up here. There's tons of range. There's tons of melee units. All these chariots. Point 1's doomed. What's the score? 4,000 to 2,700? 1,000 to win. 2,000 plus to win. They would need to triple cap at some point to take this game back. They can't just capture 2 and wait for the rest of the game. So I do think Nurgle and Khorne are big doomed. Is Scarbrand Torox's dad? Torox is like way better than Scarbrand. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? And I think mathematically this is over. If you can't take point 1 at this point, game's over. Because you need 600 points. So you to win, you need to hold the other 2 points and somehow beat 600, and that's like you'd have 1,200 points to get you to 4,000. So yeah, Kislev and Cathay will advance. Boop, boop. Boop, boop. Oh no, my Snow Leopards! This is pretty sad. Run, Snow Leopards! Just run! The battle's over! You've already won! Just leave! Leave with your lives! No Fleshhounds of Khorne! Leave them alone! Babu! Babu, speak to me! Yes! She's gonna make it out! Fuck yeah, dude. Today's a good day. Oof. Nurgle and Khorne not even gonna take this capture point just for honor's sake. Chariots in the middle are going burr currently, killing lots of stuff. Can't quite take that point back, but doesn't matter, as the game will end as soon. Okay. There it is. And there it is. Everyone is shocked and surprised that Nurgle did not win in Domination. Fucking Sag. Gorgon versus Bloodthirster, who wins? Yeah, probably Bloodthirster, probably. Okay. Where is this thing? That was a good game, though. Khorne and Cathay, I keep saying that. Khorne and Nurgle legitimately did better than I thought they would. So they should hold their heads high. That was a pretty bad draw. A bad old roll of the old dice arenas. Cool, cool. Not another game up just yet. Do I have any fun replays? Trying to decide which of these was funnier. Probably this one. Just waiting for our next game. I thought I'd show you something. I have these replays to make videos about them later, but you're getting a sneak peek. Why am I drinking out of 2 teacups at once? I need to finish one. There, done. Get out of my sight. Jesus! So in a tournament, I think it was HW's turn. I was playing Cathay versus Nurgle, I guess. It was actually a pretty good game. Pretty good game. Lots of grinding on the front line. Oh no, Fury's knocked my cannons off their mounts for just a second. Those chaos spawn are kind of important because they get onto my cannons and break them all. And they run away. Yada yada. Lots of fighting. There needs to be a faster fast forward than this. Kill some stuff, shoot some things. Bounce power's about even. I think that's a bunch of bullshit. I think I'm winning. And 3 of these chaos spawn that are part of this 8 are just fucking off and doing their own thing. And I find that very funny. Yada yada, a bunch more fighting. Spawner's still just standing around here. Yada yada, still fighting. And then I shoot 2 of them. One's still here. And where do I get confused? Okay, so there's 2 models left. And I don't know that that guy's standing there. But I'm watching this flag, and I know there's 2 models left. I'm trying to kill them off to free my little Jade Crossbowman. Fight, fight. Fight, fight. And I remember I was in this position. So for my position, remember, I don't know that that 1 Chaos Spawn is standing next to my cannons. I've formed a little defensive position here. I'm focusing mostly over here. I don't care too much about morale troops. I'm just remaking an enclave. I don't know that that guy's there. So I see this flag for the spawn of Nurgle. Yada yada, yada yada. I remember freaking out. So he's gonna die to these halberds in just a second. And all of a sudden this flag just flies over, and I was like, Jesus Christ! And I give all my guys orders to shoot it. Because I don't know that it's just one guy. I just know there's a teleported chaos spawn and I'm not about it. So then I try to kick his ass. But I just thought that was funny. Just gets stuck on the cannon, sits there the entire battle, scares the shit out of me halfway through. It was pretty good. Anyway, to finish this out, there's one more bullshit thing that I thought was funny. Great Steams of Corruption from him. Getting a little nervous, I can't kill the single entities. Getting real nervous, I can't kill the single entities. Still going. Still can't kill him. Still can't kill him. Getting really nervous. Almost killed the frickin' Exalted Herald guy. Go away. Almost out of shit. Shoot some last shots. Keep charging in with the cav. Route some things off. Okay. Big Lord guy's dead. I still thought I was going to lose this one, honestly. Let me route off that guy. I felt so bad for my opponent. Look at how far away he gets and still doesn't rally. So his leadership's positive. Why isn't he rallying? What? How far? Look at how freaking far he's going. And then the game just ends. He army lost at that point. I'll take the win, but I was sitting there like, is that guy going to come back? Because I was debating whether or not to dedicate my Longbow Riders to chasing him around. But then I was like, well, I really need him back here because I had some archers that were about to break if they didn't get the harmony bonus from the Longbows. So, yeah, I don't know why I didn't come back. That was some bullshit. Sucks to be my opponent. So we have VM Wisp, A-Move Hacker, Platypus. Cool. So I gotta find Wisp. At Wisp. At Platypus. I don't know where Platypus is, so I'll go A-Move. Can I spectate? Alright. I have stalled for long enough. First round is over. Swarv and Agony Teddy versus Bobman and Rusty. That is 3 RTK players in one game. Hanniden's Evenstar and Void still going. Platypus, A-Move, and Grave Fertilizer / Wisp will be our next game. And then René Descartes and Cole versus Alda and Houseplant. Cool. Oh, that might not be the Platypus I am thinking of. It's a different Platypus. I thought it was RTK's the Platypus. Right. Where's their lobby? Join with code. Copy paste the code. Done. Password 123, I imagine. What if Hanniden's and Trigger beat Void? Oh, it's not even Trigger, it's Astalon. I feel like I've played with them once before, but I forgot how good they are. Well, hopefully if they're fighting Evenstar and Void, good enough. Alright, back. How's chat? I've been gone for a little bit. Where were we? Gorgeous Bloodthirster. GG's. Get a 3rd teacup. They're beating up the cannon hubby. They're helping. Some round 2 matches getting ready? Yep, Queden. I was just waiting for the one I had picked out. I heard Yaomek run off the battlefield with 113 leadership and no rally for 3 minutes as she kept running. Generic Lords seem pretty good in Warhammer 3 compared to Sludgy Lords. Yeah, it's the opposite of Warhammer 2, which is weird. Warhammer 2 Legendary Lords were almost always better than their generics. Almost always. Oh, wait. I need to join this as spectator. I can't accept an invite, otherwise it will make me do that. Cole Smart Shopper? What? I'm watching a different game. Platypus, I do need a different thing. Spectator slot, please. Let me spectate. There it is. So it is RTK Squire Menacing Platypus. So RTK has a different Platypus now than I knew. What the heck? Okay. So we have Grave Fertilizer Wisp versus Menacing Platypus, who I have never seen before. Sus. And A-Move. I don't know if they've rolled factions yet, so we'll chill out for a second before we really talk about it. But it's initially looking like Ogre Kingdoms and Khorne versus Cathay and Khorne. No, they're switching factions, I was going to say. Cathay would not be excited about fighting Ogre Kingdoms and Khorne. Because the only way I've found to fight Khorne is air cheese with good defense of long Marauders, but the Ogre Kingdoms actually bring ranged, which would not make that work. So this isn't looking better for them. Tzeentch is pretty bad too. For Cathay, not bad as a faction. A very good new recruit to RTK. Rusty is RTK Rusty. He's paired up with Bobman, so he would know. Cool, cool. I'm excited to see them play. I've never met this person. Also, RTK, figure it out. All right, this is the Flame RTK channel. Okay, any RTK members, get out of here because you're about to get roasted. What? You guys lack innovation. You guys lack creativity. You guys lack any form of smarticles. Okay, you have RTK Platypus. Now you have RTKS Platypus. You have RTK Bobman. You have RTK Bob Tresh. You don't have any extra RTK Phoenixes, but you do have J Phoenix. And then there's like the Phoenix King. And then there's a different Phoenix. I think that's also a Phoenix King, but I don't remember. There's Phoenixes everywhere. All right, RTK. So get some new names. Get some new names. Take your members. Get them to give up their entire identity. And get better names. You can't have... And Bobman's in the chat. Bobman, you're part of the problem. You and Bob Tresh, neither of you is allowed to be Bob anymore. You have to get a new name. What about Ricky? Huh? Rolls off the tongue. Ricky Man, and then Bob Tresh can be Ricky Tresh. Problem solved. And before anybody gets mad at me, for legal purposes, that was a joke. I just thought it was funny how many people in the same clan have a similar name. Cheers. I look forward to the angry DMs. Rusty is a well-known whiner. Famously not chill. We need RTK Bob Phoenix. RTK Platypus Bob. No, I'm just joking. I love those guys. As evidenced by the fact that I was confused who this platypus was with my friend, the other RTK platypus. And she's very nice. She said she was coming back to Game 3. She had taken a long break from 2, so I do hope to see more of her around. She was pretty good. Anyway. Generic Lords seem to be pretty good. You already said that. How long do you think it'll be till the combined games come? The hopeful answer I have no evidence for. Start of summer. The realistic problem? They're changing a lot of stuff about the game with charge reflection and whatnot. So you have to add all that to the old units. And then, hopefully, they balance it. Because charge reflect right now is way too strong. So giving it to every unit that has a spear seems like a really dumb idea. Then they have to figure out, hopefully, how cavalry is supposed to work. Otherwise, a lot of the Game 2 races are worthless, because there's a lot more cavalry factions in Game 2 than there are in Game 3. Hopefully they've balanced all the winds of magic that aren't in this game yet, but we know from the previous games. They have to add all the DLC units that are apparently not in this game right now. So basing off all that, I'm thinking probably fall. Probably fall to see the games. And that's the thing, is like, I'm conflicted, because a part of me says, just put out the factions right now, unfinished, and let us play with them. But the other part of me is, well, didn't they do that with Game 3? And we were disappointed, we all got mad at them? So I really want them to just shove out some unfinished garbage. Have you seen your Discord? You have no right to complain about similar names. That is true. My Discord has a lot of Humbo Yes Yes styled names. Yeah. So I would guess summer or fall. More likely fall, but I can still hope for summer. We're getting into game. Loading up. We have Tzeentch and Khorne versus Cathay and Khorne. It's a double Khorne. Double Khorne today. I'm thinking Tzeentch and Khorne are going to be favored here, but we'll see. The DLC units are all in the game. They're all just locked. You can mod them in on custom battles. Got it. Got it. Well, I know the Game 3 and Game 2 development teams were different, so I think they have some communicating to do about, like, alright, so where did this unit end up in Warhammer 2? What were its stats? What patch was it on? Anyway, starting armies, not as important, but triple cannon for Cathay is a good... That's a good start. As we were talking about with last game, you want your reinforcements to be your melee units. You want to start off with a lot of your ranged, so that they can start getting value while your opponent waddles at you. And by the time your reinforcements arrive, you have to walk this far to get your melee units where you want them to be, while they have to walk this far to get their melee units where they want to be. Right? Taking the points could be a little difficult, but you have Khorne for that. So much Khorne in this game, wow. I would take Khorne over Nurgle. At least Khorne does stuff quickly. Khorne likes to get in there and fight. The similar names are meant to make it easier to cast games. You say Phoenix and Bob, man. Or Human Boy, you hit like 75% of the players. It's true. I'm excited to see the triple cannons hopefully do work. The problem is this terrain is not super conducive to the cannons, in that they literally can't see anything right now, so they do have to move up there. Interesting formation of the cannons too, with this little T shape. I seem to really like it. I wonder, can this cannon even fire, or will it shoot its own guy in the back of the head? Don't know. You can even put Imric in the Cathay roster. Tariff managed to do it. Tariff is a meme lord, unlike all others. Okay. So, cannons are firing. Talked a lot about Cathay. I guess what does Tzeentch have? Flamers, which are currently getting hammered. Some pink horrors, blue horrors in the front line. We have some coordinate forces. It looks like Chaos Warriors, Bloodletters. A big force of dogs. These Fleshhounds are dogs. Where's their Fleshhounds? I think there's one Chaos Warhound in here. No, triple Fleshhound, double Cultist of Khorne. Okay, that must be most of the coordinate funds. Yeah, it is all over there. And Khorne doesn't have a Lord. They didn't bring a Lord with their starter. That's not the worst thing. I don't hate it. Exalt the Lord of Change of Metal in the sky with Final Trans and Searing Doom. Okay. And Double Furies, which are going to get sniped out by Great Longma Riders and die a horrific death. Ooh, this could be bad. Chaos Furies of Khorne getting into the backfield. They do a lot of damage because they have Frenzy, though currently the leadership is a little low. But, oof, the instant spawn of Fleshhounds of Khorne right behind the Furies will make mincemeat out of them. It's just whether or not they and their Exalted Lordship of Change can do enough damage to the Grand Cannon, or even just knock it off of its mount and cause that bug to happen. That means they can't remount. In which case, they could just recall, save their money, and get the cannon back later. But, good start here. Good start for Tzeentch and Khorne. A little bit. They've taken the central field. Now they are going to start getting shot a whole bunch. And Scarbrand from Amove is running over. Fleshhounds of Khorne are weaving their way in between the Peasant Long Spearmen. Formation was not tight enough, or the reaction times just weren't there. But now you get a three-side surround on these little Fleshhounds. But the Cultists can do a double summon to run past and maybe shut down some of the cannons. Flamers of Tzeentch taking a high ground position, though they don't have the range to really sit up here and shoot down or anything. They can't reach anything. So that's a little bit interesting. But once these capture points unlock, I largely imagine Khorne and Tzeentch to take all three quite quickly. Why bring the Bird of Metal? I don't know. I personally would just bring Kairos Fate Reaver, but each their own. One cannon gets summoned on by Bloodletters. It will die very, very quickly because of the smart summon angle. If you summon anything, this is not just Game 3, this is Game 2 too. If you summon anything onto an artillery piece, you always want to summon it behind the pieces, so that, as we saw with the replay I just showed you, Chaos Spawn got stuck on it. You want to hit the crews first. Game 3 changed some stuff about the cannon models can actually take damage, but you still always want to attack the crews first. They're much more fragile. You can see how quickly that cannon crew shatters and dies. So very nice stuff there from Wisp. Frontline for Cathay and Khorne is kind of falling apart a little bit now that there are Furies trying to hold off other Furies, and Blue Horrors are getting to shoot the Archers, and this might turn into a corner camping situation in that the red team might get spawn locked and just can't get out of here while their enemies take every point on the map. That does lead to comeback funds, so maybe they can just spawn enough shit to get themselves out of a bad situation, but still not great to be locked in your spawn. Then you can't spread out. AoE stuff hits a lot harder, like we just saw Final Trans in this area that didn't do that much damage, to be fair. Blue Horrors and all these various ranged units are just going to surround you. Where did those Flamers end up? Oh, here they are, getting murdered by Cav. Scarbrand and some Bloodletters. Ooh, Skull Crushers. Damn. Anyway, Scarbrand and some Skull Crushers going to try to push out, sally forth, as it were. But it's a bad time to be the RTK crew at the moment. They have higher damage value, which is good. Theoretically. I would have honestly thought that yellow team had a better damage value, though I suppose there was the entire cannon phase that was uncontested. But yeah, I would not enjoy being the yellow team at the moment. Yellow is capturing the extra sides, so they'll have a triple cap to start off the game. Okay. This is just brutal. This is brutal. They're definitely not out of the game yet, though, at all. It's just a rough start, but they'll get enough comeback funds. They can really start to spam things out. It's just if Cathay brought anything that can spam out in melee. So if you spam out range in this position, it's just going to get compromised immediately. So you're paying 600 gold for like a 100 gold version of a melee unit, because they're so bad at it. When you have your opponent this boxed in, I really want to see them pull their extra forces up and at least fight ahead of the vanguards. They can't vanguard deploy behind you and get to the spot, but there's no reason to leave units sitting over on the spots. What you really want to do is spawn camp the shit out of the red team. Just keep them in there. So I would be very happy to see these dogs and Blue Horrors pulled up. Please. And there is a decent fight going on for the center. There are some of these Screamers of Tzeentch. I hate this unit. I think they're so terrible. I have never seen Screamers of Tzeentch do anything. If you are a Tzeentch player and you like the Screamers, please tell me why. And that's not like an invitation for me to flame you. I am just legitimately curious what the hell that unit is supposed to do. Every time I fight against them or use them in campaign or anything, they just suck and die, and they're like 750 gold or something. They're stupid. Stupid, dumb unit. Anyway, the spawn camp is breaking, and that's very bad for the yellow team, because your opponent's going to get more money than you quicker than you. They're doing more damage, so damage gives you, if I have this right, so I'm not a Domination Pro, but damage gives you money, having less points gives you money. So red team is rolling in bank right now, and yellow team, you can see they're getting spread very thin. They have very little left on this front line. They have a tiny pocket here, but look at all the red they have to fight if they can get out of their spawn. So that's... If I had to throw a psychic prediction out, I do think red is going to end up triple capping the map in about 2 minutes' time. And then yellow will have a big comeback a little later. And it'll be about whether red can hold off the comeback or not. Would be my guess on how this is going to go. Screamers are useless, just use Furies, they're cheap reducing. Really, you found Screamers are awesome. Treat them like monstrous infantry, give them support, and they can kill everything large. Do they have anti-large? Oh, they do have a little bit of anti-large. That would make them decent against the Long Marauders, I guess. Problem is the Long Marauders still outduel them, it feels like. Look at how much damage they're taking against this dead-ass Long Marauder. Look at them, they're just getting toasted! Oh my god! Oh my god. Alright, red is starting to break out though, as we saw. We have some Fleshhounds of Khorne and some Celestial Dragon Guard from Menacing Platypus moving out there. Cool, cool. I have a ping. Is it important to this? Nope. Okay. I always get paranoid that when I get a ping in the middle of a game, it's like, this player's been rule breaking for like 35 minutes and you haven't done your fucking job. Anyway, we're almost to the halfway point in victory tickets for the green team, and we have a big fat 0 on the red side. A big problem I didn't foresee when I made that prediction is how slow both these factions are. Cathay and Khorne without dog spam, which doesn't look like this Khorne is doing, are very slow. These infantry are just going to waddle around the map, and being behind half of the total victory points in the game before you even get one is going to be a really bad start. You in Baltimore tried? Yeah, dude. We spectated your game. It was a great time. You did great. Go back and watch my cast of that replay. World beater. It was very positive. We were betting against you based on your factions at the start, and you overperformed all of our expectations. So feel good, man. Keep your head high. Alrighty. Longbow Riders plus a bunch of dogs and halberds are trying to take point 3, though it does look like the dogs are going to fade away. Longbow Riders fighting Fleshhounds is not usually a winning fight for the Longbows, in my experience. Doesn't usually go well for them, especially because the Fleshhounds cost less than half, 700 versus 1,500, and you can see the fight's going about even, so that's actually like a 2-to-1 trade for the little guys. Anti-large, anti-solo monster. Oh. Okay. So Screamers might be good against, like, Bloodthirsters. That's pretty cool. They need cycle charging? Yeah. Okay. Alright. Yeah, as I started ranting about them, I just said I haven't seen them do well or anything like that, but I also didn't really know what they were for. So, anti-large single entity killing tools. Got it. Well, for some reason, yes. So this is getting dire. This is getting real bad. 3,500 triple cap. Still haven't got a single point on the board for Cathay and Khorne. Cathay and Khorne are very far ahead on damage value. And they have more units on the field. They're just so slow. Like, they can't get anywhere. And this is what a lot of people talk about for Cathay in 1v1 domination, is why they're considered as bad as Nurgle. You do lots of damage, but if you can never go anywhere, you're still going to lose the game. Which is appearing to be their problem. And A-Move's Khorne is slow. It's a slow push infantry build, which they're winning wherever they go, but they haven't gone anywhere. Valkanos playing Elden Ring, hello? Oh, hi. I'm not Valkanos. This person has not been rule breaking for 35 minutes, and you've done your job. Thanks, Hammond. Thanks. Exalted Lord of Change has literally full health still. Alright, that's been pretty good management. It's looking like the VM lads are going to take this one. It would have to be a triple cap from red at this point, because you're behind at a ratio of 4-to-1. I mean, when you only have 50 points, it's kind of crazy to say a ratio, but anyway. They have to score 5,000 points before the green team gets 1,000, so you need a triple cap if you're going to do that. Why is he called Khorne if he doesn't even farm? So immersion breaking. Yeah, of course. This one's over. As long as yellow-green can hold 1 point, they're fine. Not to be, like, dismissive, you know, but math is math. I'm all out of drinkables. Oh, I've had so many games go the way that the red team is on right now, dude. Look at all your units and you're just like, I can't get anywhere that need to be fast enough. F's in the chat. It was a good show. It was a good show from Menacing Platypus and A-Move Hacker. Scarbrand doesn't even have his own cereal brand. Scarflakes. Yar. Ya har me mateys, you want 100% of your daily iron. Coated in blood frosting will get your scar flakes. I'm a pirate. Yar. Void and Evenstar did move on to fight Flame of Odin. Okay. 300 more points. The other side is 400. Not going to be able to take this point in time. How is point 1 looking? Just bodies. Zinchian bodies. Slamming into the point to keep it. Hey, Hubby, how does Kislev and Cathay hold up into Bretonnia and Empire? I've been debating a video talking about where the Game 3 factions fit in. And it's hard. It's very hard to describe. Because as much as we shit on Game 3, we need to take a moment to actually point out some of the cool things. The cool things is, somehow, they haven't made a repeat faction yet with Game 3. Like, some people say, oh, Cathay is just Skaven, or, oh, Cathay is just Empire. But they're not, because they have, like, with all of their yin and yang stuff, they have kind of a dwarven feeling to their leadership, which is nuts. So they're Cathay's kind of like Skaven, kind of dwarven, a little bit of Empire, so that's kind of neat. That's cool. And then you look at, like, Kislev, and Kislev is the hardest one for my video, honestly. Because I want to say they're just like the Empire, which they kind of are. They're similar to the Empire. But with all their hybrid units, it makes me think, especially the armored Kossars, it makes me think of the dwarves again, because they're so tanky. And then also kind of the minus blast and charges feel to them a little bit. And then their chariot spam where they kite around feels a little bit like Dark Elves. So Kislev is like Empire, Dwarves, Dark Elves. Nurgle is the one that's closest to just being like straight up, yeah, it's just vampire counts again. That one's pretty close. Khorne is a little bit of Warriors of Chaos. Vampire counts again, because they don't have a lot of ranged. Slaanesh is kind of a unique thing. They're like Beastmen, and I'm gonna say vampire counts a lot because there's no freaking ranged, but like they're like Beastmen vampire counts. Don't know. So all the new factions feel unique, and that's pretty cool. But yeah, how they stack up. Cathay is better. Cathay is better than Kislev in my mind, design-wise. I think they're just more fun for both players to interact with. Kislev's current playstyle, and I have the bracket on the other screen, so I'm not just wasting your time. I am waiting for one of these games to get set up. Most likely we'll watch whoever wins the bottom, but if both top games finish before the bottom one, then we'll go into that semifinal. But next game will be a semifinal, we just have to figure out which one. Anyway. Kislev's got a problem, in my opinion, that they don't have a super fun playstyle for either player to interact with. And if you like Kislev, I'm not flaming you. I'm just saying, in general, they're primed for abuse. Where, like, all your units have stupid high armor for your melee. So you kind of have what people hate about fighting dwarves are in your infantry. Okay, cool. Your ranged units, they're fine. Like, I have no issue with that. But then you get either these war bear blobs, big single entity blobs, chariot blobs with heavily armored infantry. So it's like all the things you hate about fighting vampire counts and fighting dwarves are on the same faction. And I think a lot of people are not going to enjoy that gameplay experience. Just like conceptually. And what makes it worse is these assholes. Now I started this off by saying positive, that like they made all the factions feel different. I don't know what CA was thinking with these guys. Alright, dude. We have a high armor faction. Their passive makes them literally unbreakable for a while. What do they need? Oh, they need some healing. Good call. Good call. I have a whole thing about the Patriarchs. I hate the Patriarchs unit design, but whatever. You have an AoE heal that heals percent of max HP, because all healing does now. Whatever. That's not the point. But it's going to be too strong. You can't have too much healing on this faction. So let's limit the uses to 3. You get 3 uses. Problem solved, right? Hey, guys. Oh, hey, Gary, captain of the Bad Design Committee. How you doing? Hey. I have an idea. You know how you're limited healing on that guy? Yeah. Let's give an item that just constantly heals. Yay! But Gary, we wanted this guy to have limited healing because this faction has such high armor and such good, such annoying single entities to take out. But guys, you haven't let me design anything. I designed Nurgle. I designed Slanesh, kinda. I designed Domination mode, like the ranked leaderboard that didn't make any sense for a while. You guys haven't let me do anything. All right, Gary, we can have a passive, constant percentage health-based heal on a super cheap hero character. You get this one, Gary, and it's like, then why did you limit this one to 3 uses if you're just going to give him a passive, constant one? It makes no sense. So anyway, you're talking about how do they hold up. I think Kislev is either going to be like nerfed into the dirt or be toxically annoying, and I think Cathay can actually be mildly interactive. They don't have to be. Cathay can abuse anybody as well as any other faction, but they can be more fun to deal with. Can be. Anyway, how are we doing on the bracket? Hey, let's go! So we have our first semifinal. Houseplant and Ulda versus Grave Fertilizer and Wisp. Cool. I'll look for the Houseplant lobby since he'll probably host. Okay, back to the thing. Hello. Get the blocker up. Hello. I'll look for Houseplant's lobby. Okay. So we're on to our first semifinal. So we have a semifinal on the other end, and then a best of 3 to close out the stream today. Let's go. It's been good to stream. I feel like I haven't streamed multiplayer in a while. The last few events I wanted to host got canceled due to lack of signups or literally no signups, so it's been a lot of campaign streams and shit. Hubby, how does Kislev and Cathay... Okay, we asked that. I guess that is unfair because Game 3 doesn't have DLC yet. Game 3 is fine, it's just the ripped campaign and bugs make it look so bad. Still worth so much money in this state. Yes. Kislev are the new gen whatevs. Kislev is a cool style. I wish they weren't set up in such an abusive way. Like I just ranted about with that. You're incentivized to blob and infinitely heal. And I think that's dumb. I think if you made some of their infantry cheaper and got rid of that constant passive heal item on the Patriarch, then I think Kislev would play a little more fun. Also, their cavalry needs to be better, which is partially due to the charge broken bug, but like Winged Lancers and the Griffin Legion are so horrendously terrible units that Kislev can't use them. And that's a lot of their roster is kind of worthless. Because like they have 4 cavalry units, which in this game is a lot. And 2 of them don't work. 1 is a chaff, 1 is a bear. So Kislev have the potential to be fun, but they have some tools that are just too efficient that make them kind of annoying to fight. Passive is limited to a weapon, though. They also get an unlimited health potion. Yes, and the item turns witches into Mortis engines. There's an item that turns the witches into Mortis engine? Really? I actually didn't even know about that one. But I think if Kislev focused more on... I'm also... For anybody wondering, I'm trying to figure out where this semifinal is because it doesn't look like either player has hosted it yet. But yeah. If Kislev's gameplay was more focused around their cavalry, their infantry, they would be very interesting. But right now it's focused around their single entities and chariots, which makes them boring. That'd be my take on it. Don't know where this semifinal is. I will more aggressively message. The ice switch mirror or something that gives constant... Oh, in campaign? Yeah, I have that item in my campaign. It's okay. I don't really care about any of that stuff in campaign. Like, campaign, in my opinion, can be as broken as you want because you're not ruining anybody else's play experience with it. Like, you can just do overpowered stuff and feel like a badass. Apparently they have a lobby up. It's just called 1, and the password was 3. I see. Ah. That would explain why I couldn't find it. Anyway, we're now into the game. So, this is the first semifinal. We have Houseplant and Ulda, the Wolf RTK mixed clan team. I think, I know this. Houseplant used to be a member of Clan Wolf. They're kind of an older clan that hasn't done as much in like Warhammer titles. This is a buddy of his, and we are versus VM, Wisp, and Grave Fertilizer. They could change their factions around, but they've apparently been in this lobby for a little bit. It looks like Thay and Ogre Kingdoms versus Nurgle and Tzeentch. I worry for Nurgle and Tzeentch. I don't think they will love fighting Cathay and Ogres together. That's a lot of firepower for poor Nurgle. But we'll see. Boris with Warbear Rider is strong as hell. It's pretty good. I haven't unlocked Boris yet in my solo campaign. I'm playing the Tsarina. I've been ignoring the rifts. The first rifts just came out, and I went into Slanesh's rift, took the $15,000, and went back home because I had a million things to do that were not screwing around in another dimension. I have vampire counts going to war with me on my south. I have very persistent Norskins. I don't want any of their territory. They are miles away from me, but they will never surrender, and they just keep sending armies in through the north. And I keep smashing them, sending them home, calling them up and saying, hey, do you want peace yet? And they're like, no, we'll come back. We'll die again in like 3 turns. So I need to keep an army up there to deal with them. Throt the Unclean is being an asshole behind me, so I need to go deal with him. I recently confederated a lady who has 1 million rifts in her own land, and she hasn't been controlling them at all. So Kislev's busy, and the rifts, the rifts popped up, and I'm like, I can't have Tsarina, my best army, screwing around for 8+ turns in a realm. So I just went to Slanesh's realm, took all the money, went home, and now I'm mopping up. Cav is quite underwhelming in this game, even for Slanesh. Yeah, Slanesh's Cav actually feel okay, but their whole faction is about the Cav, so it's kind of supposed to feel incredible. What attribute impacts a faction the most to be strong? AP damage, cost, magic, armor, unique abilities, items, armor, hit points. The boring answer to that question is all of those things matter, but I'll get that out there because it's like the correct answer. So all those things matter, hooray! But the real thing that makes something strong is probably AP damage. If I had to pick something out of all of those, it'd be AP damage. AP damage is one of the hardest things in this game to get at times, and you can see, especially when lords are redesigned. Sigvald went from a meme to a dream by getting a crap ton of armor-piercing damage, and also his mass changes, so that he wouldn't get knocked over every 5 seconds. Tretch Craventail, on paper, is a good lord. He's super cheap, has good anti-large, has nice leadership spells, he's very tanky, he's hard to kill, which for Skaven is a big deal, but he has no armor-piercing damage, so he loses every lord fight. Even when he has like better stats than the other guy, his armor-piercing's so low that any target he needs to kill has armor, and he just doesn't do anything. So, armor-piercing is probably the most important. Adelmo, also of RTK, watching with great interest, Houseplant. And I suppose you're rooting for Ulda as well, just by proxy. But says, Wolf was arguably the strongest Total War clan. Well, House Plants with RTK now, so RTK is the strongest clan. Got him. You should get Boris. You need to hold the 3 major cities for 10 turns to unlock his quest. He's very strong. It's worth getting. Yeah. I'm playing the Kislev campaign to try to unlock him for multiplayer. Give Wulfric AP. Doesn't Wulfric have AP? Suspect of you. Getting into the game. Getting some messages. Consider this your formal angry DM from RTK. RTK Bob Phoenix. Oh, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Alrighty. Tretch dies generic factions in the campaign. He does. To balance AP damage, they should need it while in a forest. Yes. Wulfric only has AP on his mammoth. Oh, that's right. He has a Sword of Torgold, which buffs his base weapon strength, not his AP. So it's like, it buffs the strength that no one cares about. Okay. What are we doing here? So Nurgle and Tzeentch, I think, are the underdogs coming into this game, but we will see. We have Kugoth. Kugoth, Plaguefather. Alright. That's wild. That is a wild pick. Normally Kugoth is not taken because he doesn't have the Mortis Engine effect that the Exalted Grand and Clean ones have. He also doesn't have... sorry. His summon that he has, it looks like... Who's playing him? Wisp didn't even bring his summon because it's kind of bugged. Where you get some Nurglings, not a lot, but they have an explosion that does like 0 damage. So they're not worth the money. Looks like he didn't take it. Forsaken of Nurgle, Forsaken of Nurgle, Forsaken of Nurgle. So looks like 4 of them. We have some Plague Toads as well. For Tzeentch, Forsaken, 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 Forsaken. So all the Forsaken for both factions. And we have Kairos, Fate Weaver. I love Kairos Fate Weaver. I wish Blue Fire wasn't so toxically broken. But as a character, I enjoy him. It just sucks that he has Pendulum and Blue Fire, which one is bugged and the other is just too strong. For the forces of RTK Wolf Hybrid, we have a Dragon-Blooded Shugenin, Lord of Yang. Ooh, of Yang. A lot of Yang. Really not about the healing. Okay. Wall of Wind and Fire? Really? I thought that spell was trash. Why do you have it? I'm so curious. I want to see like a really good one get off. Constellation Dragon's a good spell. I like it. Dragon's Breath is good. Also quite nice. Good, good, good. Jade Lancers, trash unit. I hate them, but they are necessary for running around and holding points. I personally prefer Peasant Horsemen, but as we saw last time we watched these two, Ulda really seems to like Jade Lancers. We have 1 cannon setting up on this nice little outcropping. Should be able to see a lot of battlefield. The only problem will be its actual sight lines are going to be blocked, so they can see like this, that. That's it. Because there's this big thing, there's this big thing, and then there's no way your targets are going to be over here. So it might be difficult for the cannon. What else do we have for Cathay? Iron Hail Gunners, we have some Peasant Archers, and a bunch of little Spearmen. Okay, for the Ogres of Houseplant, correct? Yes. Slaughtermaster of the Great Maw. We have a bunch of Ogre Bulls with Iron Fists, it looks like. Interesting. Do we have Noblars? It looks like we have some little Noblars. We have 1 Iron Blaster as well, and more Noblars and Ogres running off the side to take point 3 whenever it unlocks. Wasn't the Lord rolled, not chosen by players? Oh, Delmo, you're right. Coming in with the facts and logic. You're right. I forgot that it's also random lords. You're right. So that's why Kugoth is here. That also made the last game make a little bit more sense. Why the Exalted Lord of Metal. Okay. Adelmo, take over the stream. Just get in here. Take it from me. I don't deserve it. Regardless, Cathay and Ogre's getting a little bit of damage. It looks like these guys have no interest in fighting Double Forsaken and Plague Toads. They're just going to back off and come back around to maybe win the 2 fights they actually can. heavily investing into point 1, and it looks like they will try to take point 2 since they have Overwatch fire from the cannons. Since the cannons can't see very much, it could be nice to force them to come into your sight lines by taking point 2 and holding it. And then they have to come to you, and you can finally see something and shoot something. So that'd be pretty good. Human, the random factions also choose your lord. Yeah, Bob, man, Adelmo already said that. So you're a copycat, and you're a meanie. Okay, Chaos Fury's landing on the Iron Hail Gunners. They will do good damage to these little guys, but an immediate charge by the Jade Lancers will probably peel them off pretty quickly, but will it save the Iron Hail Gunners? Hard to tell. Cannon's doing pretty good damage, and what is that, a Blue Fire of Zinch? Oh no, the Screamers are back. The Screamers are back. Ogres and Cathay completely convincingly hold point 1, and the same could be said for Zinch and Nurgle on point 3. But this middle is going to get very spicy. Cyrus is back. How's it going, dude? Forsaken of Zinch are really strong. Yes, they are. I agree 100%. Hello, hello. Ogre Balls. When you get paired with Void and Even Star. Mr. Willow, that is rough. That is rough. Cyrus, you haven't watched a stream in a while? Because there haven't been a lot of streams recently. We've been doing a lot of campaign stuff, and that's about it. A lot of my multiplayer events got canceled due to low participation and or bugs. So, Gorges are getting spawned by Houseplant, and a nice little peasant archer summon will also help out with this situation. It doesn't look like any of these guys are shielded, though they do have high armor, so... Ooh, all of them have 85 armor. These peasant archers will struggle, but damage is damage. Points have not unlocked yet, but Chaos is going to get ahead to an early lead. Now, we saw this versus World Beater and Lord Baltimore in the game 1 of the day. Alden Houseplant fell behind at first, stocked up a whole bunch of resources, got troops, and pushed in heavily, winning the game in the long run, sacrificing the early game a little bit. I suspect they'll do the same here, though we are getting a little bit of what we saw VM Wisp and Great Fertilizer actually just do last game to RTK Platypus, Menacing Platypus, and A-Move, where you're getting trapped in your spawn. They're having a very hard time getting out of this choke point, so this avenue is almost closed off to them entirely, meaning they can only go through here or here, and it is a long walk for two relatively slow factions. Ogres are quick, but their Noblars are a little slower. So they can't get the support as quickly, and Cathay is very slow. So you either have to take this super long avenue or force yourself into a choke point here, which Nurgle is excellent at this part of the strategy. Spawn as much crap as you can, put it all right here, and accept that you're going to lose, but lose as slowly as possible and rack up those victory points. But Ogres aren't ones to win slowly. You can see these Ogre Bulls with Iron Fists are pushing straight through, really trying to shut down this area. Nurgle is even summoning some things to help out. And what are these, Forsaken of Zinch? There's no ranged assets here from Zinch to punish this aggression. It looks like they're just going to feed one by one into the grinder and accept their death. 2-to-1 cap, it's pretty good. The spawn camping strategy is strong, though I worry they can't finish it. Ooh, a quick little spawn here from a Sabertusk pack is going to try to peel the Chaos Furies off of the Grand Cannon. Grand Cannon's at about 2/3 ammunition, so it still has plenty of firepower left to give. Would be good to shut that down. But I don't know if you can hold Ogres in their spawn. It's going to be tough. Gorges are out here fighting, get a little bit of Jade Lancer support running up, and more Archers and Iron Hail Gunners getting spawned. This could be a problem because Zinch doesn't have to play by the rules. There's a lot of flying units. I guess Nurgle also doesn't, but you could take these Screamers back out of the... I need my red arrow. Back out of the fight, then loop around over their heads and just shut down all these ranged units. And if the Ogres and Cathay commit melee units to stopping you, you fly away. And you just want to be annoying. Your purpose here isn't to win this choke, it's to stop them from ever leaving it. So the more annoying you are, the better. You don't need to fight them, you just need to keep them here. Central fight is still going as we saw. Cathay and Ogres are piling up just so many forces, but as long as they don't move much further forward, who cares, I suppose. Imagine waiting by in round 2 just to fight even Void. Yeah, that's tough. Slaanesh plus Zinch seems strong. Conceptually, I could get that. Yeah, seems like it'd be good. The only problem I will see for Nurgle and Zinch is longevity. Because you can see the middle's taking a long time, but they are getting pushed back super slowly. And the problem is that Ulda has almost 2,000 funds and resources. There's so much more yellow on the map than red. And once they get through, as we saw game 1, they're going to stay there. It's going to be so hard for Nurgle to help Tzeentch push anything off, so it's mostly on Tzeentch doing that. A wall of fire does show up. It is easily avoided by the Forsaken Tzeentch because it is so slow. It doesn't do that much damage. It's a big ripperoni. I remember using that spell in campaign and being mega disappointed. Tzeentch is still holding this little area with a little help from Nurgle. It looks like Kairos Fateweaver dove in to do some of the distracting we talked about, but he's not the unit you really wanted to use there. His single entity status can make it a little difficult. Though he just pushes straight out of the Saber Tusks and Jade Lancers. I thought he was more blocked up there than he actually was. And this Pink Horror summon is going to do work. I forgot you could even summon Pink Horrors. I immediately assumed those are going to be Furies or something. Ogres and Cathay chilling with their .1. They're fine with that. They don't care. But also I don't think Nurgle or Tzeentch care. They're fine with it. They just want to hold .2. Which they are doing decently well. Kugoth comes into a range of the archers a little bit. He's going to need to pull back and get some healing up for himself. Cathay's not that far behind on the tickets either. Nervous. Nurgle is the best 2v2. Doubt. This is going to be a good little cast of that Tzeentch spell. It's not doing crazy amounts of damage, but it's doing okay. It's just too spread out. That's the thing about that spell, is it's so spread out that you actually wish it was a little more focused. This has been good. This has been really good control from Grave Fertilizer and Wisp in this area. I've been very impressed with their choke point holding abilities. And by that I mean, like, the stuff I was talking about, not just, oh, I threw my units there, I'm so skilled. It's like, no, they've been pretty good. You see these Nurgle Furies are in the back, also distracting some stuff, some good spell casts. Keeping your blue horrors back, the pink horrors, something we were talking about earlier. Like, they've been really good at managing their resources in that fight. To take what I thought was a losing fight to actually turn it into what looks like a winning fight. There's a lot of routing going on over here, and a lot of resources invested from the Ogres and Cathay to try to win the fight that's not really happening. Middle fight still going to Cathay, just so slowly. So slowly. They can't get through here. And it's really bad. Nurgle spawning some more units to run forward, Plague Toads and stuff. They're flat broke, so they will have a very hard time getting more and more reinforcements in here as we're going, but you just need to get ahead enough on that ticket bar so that you can switch from holding 2 points to holding 1 point and just throwing everything you have at 1 point and sit on it. And what is that break point? What is that? 2 to 1. So if you're getting 2 to 1 right now, and then it flips to 2 to 1 on the other side, you'd have to get a pretty big lead. 4,000 to 2,000? It's a little before that. I think it's like 3,500. So if they get to 3,500-ish, I didn't do the math on it perfectly, but if you get to 3,500, you can just fall back to holding 1 point and really hold that 1 point. I believe I tested the Nurgle and Ogre lore passive heals. It looks like it was hitting the allied army as well. So you could take these two and spam cheap spells triggering both heal passive. That would be pretty good. That wall of wind and fire, it is, if the Tzeentch player sees it coming, they can just move because it's really slow. But some Jade Lancers rear charge are going to stop these blue horrors from being able to run away. God, that spell just doesn't do any damage. That's my biggest problem with it, is it's so slow and the payoff is meh. I personally think it's a pretty bad spell. Kugoth's getting low. This has still gone nowhere, which is huge. And now it looks like Ogres and Cathay have decided just screw it. We're going to go around the long way that you talked about at the start of the game because this is taking so long. We just have to get active. But that's also fine by Tzeentch and Nurgle because their spawn points are right here. So Nurgle loves to take a fight where he doesn't have to walk. He's just right here. He doesn't have to get anywhere. And he'll still block you up a little bit. Now, is that a bad play from Cathay and the Ogres? No, I think it's a necessary play. I just don't think it's as good as you would hope because it also kind of helps Nurgle a little bit. But it still does divide up their forces. It cuts off the reinforcements that we're going to go here. And you can see now Cathay is actually starting to make a good push. Maybe can start capturing this central point. Maybe. Though, as I mentioned before, we are getting into the danger territory where the yellow team, if they want to win, is going to have to do a triple cap at some point. That's pretty bad. I got a message to the next people. Hold on. You can set up the lobby and build your armies. Yes, build your armies, please. I will be there to cast, so don't start. Okay, cool. Back to this. So the other semifinals ready for us. They're just going to build armies while we finish up this game so we can go right from this game into the next game. It's going to be great. Chat. I think the major value for the Wall of Fire is that it stops barrier regen for like 45 seconds. True, but I feel like there are cheaper spells that could do that. Personally. Like, Burning Head is just the same spell, but better. I am very, very scared for Cathay and the Ogres. That victory point lead is going to be a lot, and they haven't been able to contest. Ooh, this could be huge. Get your rallying units that are over here and take the third point. Just be sneaky. Take it real quick. Deny them some points. It looks like that is what Aldo is going to do. He's going to start pathing that way. Cathay and the Ogres have given up entirely upon this choke point, are just committing fully to the central fight. They need to take that third point, though. We're officially at the point where you can't win with 2. I'm pretty sure that's how the math works out. Yeah, because these guys need about 3,000 to win. These guys need about 1,400 to win. So, yes, we'll need a triple cap from yellow. And, oh no, disaster! Nurgle even sneaks up and is going to take the first point from them, making their triple cap even harder. That is super brutal. They will take the center point. It looks like they're even going to take point 3, as some Tzeentchian units are retreating into them, but that won't stop the cap. And it looks like Tzeentch noticed a little too late that sneaky play was happening back there. But this play from Nurgle from Wisp might be one of the deciders in the game, because they would get triple capped right now if this wasn't happening. That's pretty good. Cathay is mobilizing to go up there, but they have some Noblar Trappers. Those aren't amazing range units, and all these Haggard guys are so low they won't be able to kill the Nurglings fast enough to take this point back. Oh no! No, not Houseplant. Nothing against the VM guys, but Houseplant is a G. Taught me a lot of things, so I don't want to see him lose. Also, wolves are my favorite animals, so the wolf RTK hybrid tugs at my heartstrings. Still taking this. It's taking them a little bit because they do have 2 wounded units here, which do capture a little less quickly than full health units. Noblar Trappers are running out. We have some Jade Lancers also joining the fight. The center is extremely well held by Cathay and the Ogres, but it's all about the sides now. It's all that matters. And some blue horrors of Tzeentch do get onto the point, routing off the last of these Jade Lancers that shattered while having that much health because they're a disgrace to Cathay, and I hate this unit so much. Why are you so trash? Why are you so trash? Stop it. Be good for once. So they're not even capturing this point now. They're kind of taking it back a little bit as this full health unit of Noblar Trappers is going to run in, but they won't capture it quickly enough. They're too far behind on the tickets, and it looks dire for the forces of Houseplant and Aldo. Dire, I say. They even have some Furies just spawn camping, waiting for like cannons or anything to pop up. Though at this point in the game, I don't think cannons would pop up. There's no time for them to get their value. And Tzeentch and Nurgle doing it. All right, I bet against them, but you learn something every day. Who is messaging me? Check the message quick. Oh, and Tzeentch and Nurgle are even going to hold the third point. That is just the worst. And they're sneaking a capture on this. What? How are you taking it with... Oh, those are long Marauders. They're flying. They don't count as anything. Oof. Oof, baboof, said the doof with a floof. Next semifinal will be Bobman and Rusty of RTK. So RTK is not out of this yet versus Evenstar and Void is VM. So our semifinals were VM versus RTK and Random. And on the other side will be RTK versus VM and Random. So, mirrors, kind of. What is this? Is that the Bolt of Change? Ow, that did a lot of damage. 100 tickets left. Almost a triple cap from Nurgle. Math does not favor Cathay on this one. And it was a good showing from Molda and Houseplant. They did good. They did good. Look at that Houseplant gold damage value. True. I don't know why I'm checking values, because it's bugged in domination mode. It doesn't nearly capture what actually happened, so I should probably stop checking it. Okay. GG's, well played. On to the other semifinal, which if Bobman and Rusty are in it, I should be able to see it. Yeah, I know it won. I was just there. Did you guys host it yet? Bobman, you're usually in the chat. Did you host it yet? I will say, Queden, 2v2 is more interesting for domination than 1v1. I'll give you that. It's pretty good. The only complaint I have with 2v2 domination is the same as I have with, like, if I'm honest land battles, where there can be times when you're trying to cast it that, like, it's over and everybody knows it's over, but you have to finish out the game. You know? It's just like, it is what it is. So there's sometimes in land battles, you know, where it's like a Dread Saurian with full HP versus literally an entire army. And you're like, this is over, the Dread Saurian's going to take a while to die. I got to fill the void somehow. So on domination, you can hit that point where mathematically it's over, and then you don't know what to say. But 2v2 adds enough like elements to it that it's not just... It feels like they don't snowball as hard. Where, like, sometimes if you get Nurgle versus, I don't know, what's his worst matchup? It's Nurgle versus Cathay, I guess. But Cathay's not that good on domination. If I was a domination pro, I could say this more eloquently. But, you know, there can just be times where it's run over, but then you have to wait for the 5,000 victory points when one team can't even leave their spawn. You're just sitting there like, okay... They're never going to leave the spawn point because they got snowballed on too hard, but I have to cast this for 5,000 tickets. Because we had, in the 2v2, the base income is so high that we saw even the one where A-Move and Platypus got stuck in their spawn, they broke out. They just didn't break out quickly enough, and there was still something kind of to instruct the game because there was a lot more going on. But 1v1, man, it can be brutal when you get stuck inside your spawn. Anyway, I gotta go to the bathroom and grab a drink. BRB. Wisp is in the chat, waiting for finals. Good job, Wisp. I did not think you guys had that last game based on armies, but you proved me wrong. I'll be right back. Did the lady lover walk?
We went on a 3.76 mile walk. Yeah, and then we
calm down. I'm back. Oh, crap. Yeah. I see. Well, that's the trick, is I can't join a lobby as a spectator unless I can see it. Because I can't join with a co as a spectator, I don't think. 2v2 domination. Is this it? Bobman, there it is. I imagine I have a bunch of messages about that. Yeah, Bobman, I wasn't even at my computer. Yeah. Queden's mad at me. Yeah. I wasn't at my computer, I'm sorry. It's fine. Nurgle versus Vampire counts, who wins? Probably Vampire counts. I feel like they heal a little bit more efficiently. They have better infantry. They have corpse carts, which is a huge deal. Then they have Blood Knights. I feel like Blood Knights would be huge in that matchup. So I'd say Vampire counts, dude. Also, they have Terrorgeists, which is huge. They have Dragon Mounts, which you could get some good breath attacks. I think it's pretty good. So we're waiting on Evenstar. No name is Void. He said Evenstar was taking 5 minutes. Even BRB 5 minutes, but that was 10 minutes ago. Okay. That's something. Okay. I was checking. There's no other tournaments going on right now, so I have no idea where Evenstar is. I don't think. How long have you been streaming? 2 hours? Okay, I can probably sit down. I try to split my time between standing and sitting so I don't hurt my back. Ugh. Don't sit too long. Also stretch out your wrists. Do it. Whoop. Come to me, camera. Queden, if you're still in the chat, any idea where Evenstar is? Any idea where Evenstar is? I'll message Void too. I suppose I could message Evenstar. But I feel like if he was at his computer ready to answer a message, he would be here. Okay. Righty. Counts of Krell as well. If only you could take Krell. If only. Oh boy, what's coming up? Rubber Duck of Wars. One build battle royale. Tournament is tomorrow. Nothing on the 15th and 16th, so I'll probably host a tournament then. I might have to host a pretty straight up tournament because otherwise nobody will sign up, and that makes me very sad. That's why there haven't been a lot of multiplayer streams. So might do that. Probably do some Ant Ladder streams. I'm trying to get back into streaming now that my life calmed down a little bit, IRL. Yeah, Void says even needs 5 minutes, but that was 11 minutes ago. Because I was at 2:35, it's been 12 minutes since then. This stream is sponsored by Heineken Zero. Heineken Zero. No alcohol, same beer taste. It's not sponsored by them, I just drink it. Because I have liver disease. It's great. We love liver disease in this house. Uh, Are you going to play in Ladder Wars? No, I'll be going at Grace's cousin's wedding for that weekend, which is unfortunate, because I would love to play in Ladder Wars. I would love to. You, Heineken. Dude, it's the only beer around here that does the zero alcohol. It's the only one I can find in stores, because zero alcohol is not very popular, because in general, if you're buying a beer, why are you buying one with no alcohol in it? It's just not a lot of options. I see Cyrus. Hey, Even Star's here. Let's go. Even Star's here. I suppose I could do an actual plug. This stream isn't sponsored by Puppet Masters, but it is a game that I sell to make money. Left screen this. If you go to... I'm just doing a plug while they build armies. Don't worry about it. PuppetMasterProjects.com. That is my site. I am selling a board game. It's called Puppet Masters. That's the back of it. Here's the little description what it does. You can go into the store. You can buy it. If you're in the U.S., it is $50 shipping included. If you are international, it's $95 shipping included. Meaning, by included, I mean you do not pay extra for shipping. Yes, $95 is a lot. Shipping internationally, the cheapest place I can send it is $67, and the most expensive is around $95. So I don't make a lot of money from international shipping. Yes, I know it's expensive, but what can you do? There's other products of mine you can buy there. Supports the stream. Have a good time. All of it is awesome and incredible. If you want to know what Puppet Masters is, there's a super much more in-depth thing over here. There's also a video about it, and we're just doing a quick little ad plug for it. The short version is Magic the Gathering type gameplay, but much more customization. You have a playable character that has an ability out of 27 abilities. There's 18 decks that you shuffle together and play with. You shuffle together a couple and play with your opponents. You both have the same thing. So if you sit down, you have a red deck, like from Magic, and the other guy's a blue deck, you can just forfeit right there. That always felt shitty, so I designed a game mode where you're both playing with the same cards, so nobody's ever out of the game. All right, go check it out. It's a ton of fun. Yada, 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 yada. Supports the stream. Yada, yada, yada. Looks like we have Slaanesh and Kislev versus Kislev and Nurgle. Get ready for some chariots, lads. Though at least Slaanesh can maybe stop the chariots. Maybe. With all their armor-piercing anti-large cav. Actually, the anti-large Heartseekers don't have armor-piercing, do they? No, they don't. That sucks. Dude, I just realized there's a huge quality of life change for me as a caster here. Holy crap. I don't have to be the host to click on everybody's armies and look at them. That is so nice. If you used to join in Warhammer 2, if you got invited somewhere as a spectator and you join the lobby, you can only see the host's army, and that's it. But they changed this so I can look around, and it's a lot easier. If we're going to shit on this game all the time, we also have to give it credit when it does something right. I digress. Are there Norskins in your board game? No. Yeah, no. There's no faction in my game that would compare to Norskins. Unfortunately. Kislev and Nurgle versus Slaanesh and Kislev. In land battles, Nurgle is very hard for Slaanesh to deal with, but I feel like in Domination, Void and Evenstar have an advantage in the armies they drew. Cyrus is just roasting Heineken in my DMs. It is the only option I have. Because I can have... So the deal with me is I have a genetic condition that was double recessive. Turns out my mom had one and dad had one. They didn't know. And my brother got neither and I got both. So what happens is my liver builds up iron over my lifetime, I guess. And he's going to have not a great time later in life, so I have to be nice to him now. So my doctor limited me to 2 drinks a week with alcohol in them, just to have a healthy liver going into the later stages of life. And then I also have to give blood 3 times a year, which I'm due to do next week, which is going to be great. I love giving blood. I don't pass out at all. But it's fine. So there's nothing actually wrong right now. Like, they found it because of a random genetic test my dad took because he was having some other issues that turned out to be fine. But they were like, hey, we took a look at your blood and we noticed that there's this recessive gene. Did you know it can lead to this, this, and this? My dad was like, no. And then there's like, you should have your kids checked. And turns out mom had one too. There is a 1 in 100,000 chance that both of my parents had that recessive gene. And then after they both already had it, there was a 1 in 4 chance that I actually got it. So there was a 1 in 400,000 chance that I got it. And your man is lucky. How do you feel about magic resistance being completely removed from the game? Is it? Doesn't Corn have some? I feel like Corn has some. I think it's good. Magic damage in Warhammer 2 was weird. Because magic damage in almost every other fantasy setting bypasses armor. Because it's magic. But in Warhammer 2 it doesn't. In Warhammer in general it doesn't, sorry. So it's only good against factions that have high physical resist or something. And it felt weird to have an entire stat just in case someone else had a certain resist, in a way. So now it's kind of nice that, like, magic damage will always be useful, and against certain factions it's even more useful. I guess would be what I say about it. Though I guess that hasn't changed, because demons just have high physical resist, and then magic damage is good against them because of the weakness there, but still. I think it's good. It's a good change. Blood for the Blood God. Corn has spell resist. Okay. So he doesn't have magic resist. Yeah, I think it's good. It's fine. Because magic damage is meant to be kind of like a really cool stat. Not like... It's not meant to be a variation of physical damage. It's in most fantasy settings, it's supposed to be superior to physical damage. And that just wasn't true. So it's kind of nice that it just can't be targeted against, I guess. If that makes sense. Because you just need damage resistance flat. You need ward save to stop magic damage now, but it also stops physical damage. I understand your liver problems. You can drink some lemonade or something that is drinkable. Yeah. I don't know. I like beer. What's nice about having a 0 alcohol beer is I can drink it at 3 p.m. and not feel like an alcoholic. Which is good. Okay. Give all Norsca units frostbite. It's not even that overpowered of a trait, so sure, why not? How are we doing? 10 minutes ago, Evenstar was not in this lobby, so it hasn't been 10 minutes yet, but I will give them a warning about 1 or 2 more minutes. Because this build phase is getting a little long. Just saw you versus Bobman, great game. Oh, he cast that, did he? As I was about to write the warning, it looks like Evenstar and Void are reading up. Yeah, dude. So, I will wave my hand when the spoilers are done. So spoilers about my son Herbert Walker's finals from the last tournament in 3, 2, 1. Mute if you don't want to hear about it. Yeah, I ended up facing Ash in the semifinals. And if you don't know Ash, they keep changing their name, but they were like the Future That Never Comes, Ash, Iskandar Two-Horned, the Green Knight. So he's just a good player. So I beat him. I used 2 pretty shitty, disrespectful builds that were like, it was not fun, not a good way to go out, but he picked some matchups where I had to play that way or I was going to lose. So that felt bad. But then Bobman and I got a really good final in where it went all 3 games. We had some pretty good matchups. They were really dynamic. I don't think any of the games in the finals were really like cheesy. So that was good. Yeah. Bobman and Void, I didn't get to see their games, but I know they fought. I know Bobman won, so. Anyway. There. For people that muted me. It was a good series. Good tournament. Righty. So, Bobman and Rusty, huh? Yes, I know about the blocker. I'm working on it. It's just not going away. Hey! There you go. Good boy. When was this, hubby? We played it yesterday, and HW is casting the replays today. Forsaken of Nurgle. Kugoth Plaguefather. 2 Cultists of Nurgle, yet again. Frost Maiden of Ice. Oh, yeah, that's right. The Lords are random, so Kugoth yet again with the randomness. Nurglings, Chariots, Kossars with Spears, and Arrows. What tournament was this? It's HW League, so he just does like a serious land battle tournament, no gimmick. He runs a bunch of them, and then in the end he has playoffs, kind of thing. Stonehorns are underrated. Bobman loves Stonehorns, and they are pretty good. They're pretty good. Ace Aerial Combat 5. Adelmo, I think my brother played one of those games. I don't know which number it was. It was pretty good. Alright. For the other four, Slaanesh and Kislev, we have 2 Cultists of Slaanesh for their summons, Double Patriarch, and an Ice Witch of Ice. Yes. We have 1 Little Grom, Exalted Keeper of Secrets of Slaanesh, with the Slicing Shards. I like that spell a lot. Slicing Shards is very fun. Lash of Slaanesh. Really? That spell I think is objectively trash, but okay. And then Seductive Glory is also good. We have a random Soul Grinder of Slaanesh, and we have some Kossars without Spears. No Chariot Blob yet from the side of Evenstar and Void. And I would be curious if they have Chariots in the reserve that they can spawn. We'll be curious indeed. And we're off. It is this map again. Was the map not changed, or is this actually the map? Oh, yeah. We were casting a different semifinal, so of course it's going to be on the same map. Cool. In the Kislev versus Kislev matchup, who wins? The Empire. I don't think the Empire wants Kislev to kill themselves. Bobman and Rusty are building up a lot of funds they aren't spending. Curious if they both have a big purchase they're waiting for or something. A little bit of lag. Time until capture points unlock. Thank you for constantly telling me. That is great. I love to know that information constantly. I can't just look at any of the points with that information on it. Thank you for having this fucking banner in my face. Moving on. Single entities all running out there from Kislev and Slaanesh. Aside from that, they're chilling, letting Little Grom do his thing. Is Little Grom meta? Is he real? I used him in campaign a few times, and he felt like trash. He's necessary in campaign, but he's trash. And then when I came online, I had never used him, but people swear that this unit is good. I don't see it pay for itself. I am a Little Grom skeptic. We're in the early positioning phase. Not a whole lot's going to happen for just a hot second here. Kossars are going to try to fire in, but some nice dodging from the single entities and they'll be fine. Plus, Patriarchs have all the healing in the world. Norska wins? Norska would win if Kislev hurts itself, because they love raiding, as my campaign frickin' shows me. Stupid Norskins sitting in my... Oh, okay, not going to talk about my campaign, but oh, Norskins. Oh. Look at this little guy. Or girl. I actually don't know. Look at this little person. Just having a good time. Nurgle and Kislev are going to go secure point 1. What? Why is that red arrow there? No one's contesting this. That's weird. Anyway, they're going to take point 1, as is their birthright. The other side, why are there both arrows on both? What is happening here? Is this just degenerating into bugs? Oh. Queden, I think I read your thing, but I don't think I said anything out loud. You wanted to be the first donor when you hit 1K, but I couldn't get the payment process. Queden, that's very sweet of you, dude. And thank you for the support. It means a lot to me. It really does. Like, since getting monetized, it's like, it's sweet to get some passive income from your ads and stuff, but it is also just really nice to have people throw in random donations. and show that they, like, care. Because we've had other ways of supporting the channel, but it's always kind of a pain in the ass to, like, go to another site, set up a PayPal account there, send some money, then probably delete your thing, because nothing on the internet's safe ever. It's just a lot. Little Grom is OP as hell. I've literally never had a battle where it didn't make its value back. Okay. Dude, I'm really bad at Kislev, so I believe you. I just assumed it was bad. Little Grom is artillery capable of defending itself. The exact same reason. Little Grom is artillery capable of defending himself. Interesting. Capture points have unlocked. 2 and 3 are going to the Chaos Forces again. Though I guess now it's Kislev, Kislev, Chaos, Chaos, so I can't say that. But similar thing. Slaanesh and Kislev are going to take the center and try to hold it against Nurgle. 2 Nurglings are running forward. I don't know what they're going to accomplish, but they're out there doing their best. Evenstar and Void are off to an early capture point lead. Not that it matters a whole bunch, but it is what it is. Quick Lash of Slaanesh. I hate that spell. It does literally nothing. It's just so terrible. It's the worst spell in the game. Fight me. Anyway, Google doesn't want to process your payments for some reason. Yeah. It's been tough. Also getting, like, some stuff set up through YouTube. Like, Google says, you need to verify this. And then I click the link and it says, you're all verified. Well, then why are you constantly notifying me about it? And Cyrus, you were the first sub. You're great. Thanks, buddy. Kugoth is rolling into melee. A Snow Leopard summon. Is that a summon? Wait, is everything real? No, it's a summon. Okay. Snow Leopard summon is in here. Going to get slapped in the face by Kugoth right away and then kind of kicked in the jaw. That was brutal. That was brutal. How's it going? The Kislevite forces are both just shooting each other. But the Chariot Blob is going to go burr, and so far I have not seen the red team spawn any chariots, which makes me slightly concerned for them. Do I want to see Chariot Blobs? No, but I know how good they are, especially in the hands of a player like Bobman. So I am concerned. I am very concerned. Ice Witch of Ice and the Snow Leopard are sprinting up to try and hit the Light War Sleds. They will do good damage there if they can catch them. But there are some Cultists of Nurgle and random infantry that can peel off for the chariots. Slaanesh is taking a good fight against the Winged Lancer. Why does Bobman have Winged Lancers? He knows this. He knows better. That wizard should know better. Winged Lancers are trash. Trash unit. And they're getting slapped like you'd think they would. Snow Leopard summon is very damaged, but no one cares because it's about to fade in 2, 1, 0. And it goes away. Probably? Oh no, just a different timer started. I don't understand anything anymore. Okay. More summons of Kosovo Dervishes and Hellstride of Slaanesh, so Evenstar and Void are going super heavy on cav and mobility. And that seems to be working out for them so far. Is that a Slicing Shards? Oh, it's going to be juicy. Give it to me. Hit me with the Slicing Shards. Do it! Yes! That animation looks terrible, but the results are just beautiful. Look at the damage. You love to see it. Don't they just spam Lash with the passive? You could be wrong. If you're going to do that, only take Lash. Like, why are you taking an expensive spell like Slicing Shards if you're taking a different spell to just spam the passive? Doesn't make sense to me. Alrighty. The RTK lads have taken the middle point just with weight of numbers. Slaanesh and Kislev never left this spot. They just got outvoted, I guess you'll call it. Meanwhile, Nurgle's doing what he does best. It looks like Nurgle is actually a decent ally to have if it's a 2v2. On his own, he sucks at domination, but it seems like whenever he has a pal, he can just hold points forever while his pal does a lot of the work. Kugoth's in here being tanky is all sin. Meanwhile, Kossars are trying to fight armored Kossars with great weapons in melee. For some reason, I don't think this is going to go great for the naked boys with hand axes versus these big armored lads with spiked maces. Just a feeling. Just a feeling. More Kosovo Dervishes coming out from Voidlaw is going to run over here. This entire half of the map has just been dominated by Slaanesh and Kislev. No chance over there. Meanwhile, the Nurgle lads are holding on the high ground, and it looks like Voidlaws and Evenstar are having a harder time getting through all these Forsaken. Maybe, possibly, maybe. Big overcasted heal coming in from Nurgle, I would think. Fleshy Abundance, Fleshy Abundance. Does it hit everything? It doesn't have a cap on how many units it can hit. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. It's going to be a lot of healing out. Cool, cool. Now, unlike Houseplant, who's set up around here and then just shot down, it looks like the Kislevite forces for the yellow team are just charging into the melee as well, getting as stuck in as they can. Kugoth Plaguefather is a constant center point that is going absolutely nowhere. And a big Heart of Winter cast from the yellow team onto the red team. I don't know how much Heart of Winter does to single entities. I know it's much better at clearing out large hordes of infantry, but maybe it does okay. Very close game so far. Dead even in the point totals as of now. And it looks like the center is getting slightly taken back by the red team just due to the sheer weight of single entities present. Nurgle and Kislev are trying to get back onto the point, having a little bit of trouble at it. How are the chariots doing? Full health, full health, full health. Alright, chariots are fine. Red team has no chariots. They do have Warbear Riders. Okay. High ground, still not a lot going for the red team. Nurgle 2v2 is far better than 1v1. Yes, I agree, Queden. You're very smart and very right for agreeing with me. That is what makes you so smart and right. Kugoth is actually going to go down, which is pretty bad for Rusty. As you lose an expensive caster, which you will not get back for the course of this game, probably, unless you save up an awful lot of funds, but Nurgle kind of wants to spam out Nurglings and just hold points. We have some Forsaken on the high ground, need to be activated, need to be sent in to fight the Marauders of Slaanesh most likely, while the Kossars fall back and perform their duty as archers more than their duty as frontline infantry, since they can kind of do both, but not super well. Kugoth is crumbling away. And yeah, he is officially gonzo. Negative 55 is as low as they get on leadership, means they're disintegrating, so he's gone. And that could be eventually a death knell. Red has now taken the middle point. So they again will start to catch up in captured points. Yes. Meanwhile, yellow is holding on to 1. I'm getting worried about their bump and grind potential. 1 feels okay for them, though now they are getting overrun. They've dedicated a lot of forces to point 2, and it looks like they are slowly actually getting pushed back in that realm. What do we have in here? Beast of Nurgle, a Snow Leopard, some of these guys, but there's no healing for them without Patriarchs. Are there yellow Patriarchs somewhere? Because they need them. Nurgle's healing was not enough. That's also, like, I was talking a little bit earlier in the stream about Patriarchs, but the fact that they have better passive healing than Nurgle is kind of fucked up. It's kind of fucked up. So having 2 of them generating healing with Kugoth dead means he's going to out-heal Nurgle, out-grind him in this fight with better units. He will start to be victorious. Warbear Riders are... Wait, no, those are crucified dervishes. Really? Just some dervishes are holding up all these units? You guys got to get down there. One thought could be they're intentionally sacrificing the middle to get some extra points by falling behind, get some extra resources, but it doesn't look like it. Since they're fighting so hard, if they were giving up on it, they would just commit everything to point 1, secure that for themselves, and let point 2 go. They seem to want to be fighting it. This is looking scary for the forces of R2K. Look at the damage, gold damage value. Rusty is dragging down Bobman as expected. Yeah, Nurgle doesn't generate a lot of damage value. You should definitely do Warhammer tournaments, just... Warhammer 2 tournaments, just you said? Hell yeah, dude. I'll put up a vote on the Discord after this. People said the Discord and YouTube, so I'll do that, but... I'll put up a vote after this stream. The point values are very close, but this feels like Evenstar and Void are running away with it. It feels like. That did literally no damage again. It's a bad spell, don't use it. What the hell? What the? Oh, he got knocked down. I was like, is that guy underneath? But why does he have the flag? Where's the rest of his unit? Rusty is withdrawn. Did he actually leave, or did he get disconnected? Come on, Rusty, you gotta make RTK proud. He left, and I don't know if that was intentional. Hold on. Hold on. Okay. It was confirmed. It was just a forfeit. Okay. It was just a forfeit. No DC. Queden in the chat also saying gold damage value gap is over 8k. No coming back from this. So they just wanted to save some time on the rest of that. And no chariots for void lulls. None. None. Just cav. Just as much cav and single entities as you can get. And we're on to the finals. Alrighty, I will host the game as a spectator. 2v2 grand finals. That way, we can just get this on the road. Player. So it is 3VM and Evenstar in the finals. Boom. At Wisp. At Grave. Fertilizer. At Void. At Evenstar. Lobby up. Password 123. Is Bob-Man the same as Bob Tresher? They're two different players. We made a joke about that earlier in the stream. They are two different players. Bob Tresh and Bob-Man are both RTK, and they are different people. They're both lovely people. Both actually in a D&D campaign with me, which is pretty fun. A Silver Spire. Okay, map is set. And I will get a blocker up. And we actually do need the scorecard, so I'll go to the scorecard thing. And I will just add a blocker. Let's do this one. I like this guy. He's cute. Look at him. He's just building a little robot with his little robot face. Done. And I have to change the names. Oh, so much work. So on our left side, I believe it'll be even void. Even star plus void. Since I made these bigger, I can actually just type in them. That might be too big, but oh well. Figure it out when we figure it out. On the other side, those two definitely have too long of a name. Grave. Wisp. We'll do Grave Wisp Fertilizer. Nope, too long. Let's do Wisp Fertilizer. Okay. Evenstar and Void versus VM Wisp Fertilizer. Both have 0. And this is best of 3, which is why I'm even getting a scorecard up there. Alright, should be good to go. If Void and Even win again, I'll cry. They're very good. They're very good. No LS in the final. Sag. It is sad. We love the Lover Squad around here. Thanks. They were not an RTK when I was there. You were an RTK? I didn't know that. You refuse to watch this stream again until I apologize for calling Bob Tresh a lovely person. I will not, because he is. He is. He's a fun guy. If you run into Bob, he's pretty cool. Either of them. Oh boy. Rusty, if you're still here, Rusty, you're usually simping for Nurgle pretty hard, out there waving his flag, and you got him today, and then it was brutal. It was looking all right for you guys, and then you just like completely ran out of momentum. I don't know where all your money went, but that's like, I'm not. That's the thing is I'm not super good at domination mode, so I can get really confused about that kind of stuff. Where like, because I play a lot of Cathay on domination, I feel like I'm doing so well, and then, you know, I can't take any of the points, or I'll play Corn and I'll blitz all the points and I'll take them, and then the other guy with comeback mechanics will make a bunch of money, and in the end game he has like literally all of his possible units out on the field, and I have like 3 guys and I just have no money. So I'm not exactly an expert, but yeah, you guys just ran out of juice. So Evenstar's building a Nurgle army. That must have been what he rolled, because otherwise why wouldn't he, you know, why would he build an army for something that he didn't actually roll? Let's see, is everybody building stuff? No way. It's Corn Nurgle, Corn Nurgle. Oh, God. Oh, no. Oh, it's gonna be so slow. Jesus Christ. If you've ever seen a land battle between Corn and Nurgle, you'll know why I'm so upset. It's just a grind, dude. It's a horrible grind. And now we have double Corn Nurgle. Oh, it's suffering. We'll see how it goes. I have no idea how it's going to go 2v2, obviously, but the land battles version of this is really, really brutal. You've been experimenting a lot with Cathay, magic intensity builds. Glad to hear I'm not the only one trying to make them work. Yeah, they're good. They're good. I don't want to give false credit, but I'm pretty sure it was GGX Spartan who was talking to me about some stuff. Hang on while I check my DMs. Yeah, okay, it was him. So I won't reveal his secrets because he worked pretty good. Generally, if you talk to me about some mechanic, I will give you my opinion on it, but I won't talk about it on stream for at least like a week or two, because if you work really hard on some stuff and then I just go out and I go, hey, everybody, do this, like it's kind of a, well, then why did I work so hard to develop it? But he has a couple things with that whole magic thing you're talking about, Atlas, that he showed me that's really cool. So you're on to some good stuff there. You're onto some good stuff there is all I'll say without giving away Spartan's secrets. I think Cathay is very good. And what sucks about like... There, I'm done with that. What sucks about Game 3 not launching in a perfect state, you know, there's a lot of people mad about it. I'm also a little salty about it. But there is still some excitement there. And it sucks that it's getting tainted with all the negativity. Because I've had a couple things where you go into message boards and people are like, Nurgle's so broken, nerf him. Well, a lot of people think Nurgle is one of the worst factions in both domination and land battles. But some people think they're OP. Some people think Khorne's OP. Some people think Tzeentch is OP. Some people think Kislev's OP. A lot of people think Ogres is OP. I personally think Cathay is one of the strongest factions, and it's like fun when you're in a new game and no one knows yet what is perfect or what is the best way to play, and you can have arguments for every faction being the best. That's just kind of an exciting time, and it sucks that we're wasting this time being upset about bugs. And I'm not trying to say that, like, why can't people just look past the bugs? The bugs are really bad. That's why you can't look past them. But we are missing the fun part of a new game, where you get to try all the different units and nobody knows what's good yet, and it's just great. So there is still a little bit of that, where I personally think Cathay is really strong. And then people load into a game with me and say, this matchup's unwinnable for Cathay. And I go, oh, really? And then slap them to the curb, and that just feels really good. Or the other side, where you think you have something figured out. Like I've played Cathay versus what faction was it? Kislev. I played Cathay versus Kislev 3 or 4 times. I felt like I was getting a good handle on it. And then I played Bobman in Cathay versus Kislev. And he threw a build at me that made me doubt everything I knew about Kislev. Not Kislev. Everything I knew about Cathay. And really shook me up. So now I kind of want to ban Kislev until I figure that one out again. It's like, it's just cool. It's exciting. It's great. And I still think that's one point of enjoyment we can do, bugs or no bugs, is just trying out all the stuff. Sounds cool. Can't wait. Hell yeah. Love playing Cathay, but not played enough yet to be good with them. Just wish Cathay Cav was good. Cathay Cav is garbage. It's all terrible. Longma Riders are good in the sky, but once you land them, they're terrible again. And so for 1500, they're like a necessary evil, but they're not a good unit. Meta's still fresh right now. Still a lot to develop, even for Nurgle. I wonder how much potential there is in Toads and the dreaded Nurgle Air Force. But Cathay for now. I really haven't seen a lot of Plague Toad or Rotfly armies. I wonder if people tried them and they're just not good, or if no one's tried them yet. Half of Slaaneish's mobility doesn't do damage. Yeah. No, Coops, I wasn't trying to diminish the effect of the bugs. I was just saying that it's like, there's a lot of things about a new game that's very enjoyable, and it sucks that we have to deal with these bugs at the same time. Yeah, Queden, it's a random mirror of Khorne and Nurgle. I'm going to see how this goes. Evenstar's build's been the same for a while, so I think he's done. Void's build's been the same for a while, so I think he's done. Gray Fertilizer is the only one who doesn't have a completed build. And he's getting close, so almost there. I forgot to turn unit caps on. I don't think it changes anything. Yeah, no one's army changed from me turning unit caps back on. Last week, Cathay was talked about like a counter to ogres, and this week suddenly they're bad versus ogres. I feel like Cathay is better than people give him credit for. And I'm about to do the very thing I was just talking about, where I'm going to say something that most of the community disagrees with, but it's just my opinion, but that's what it is. I think Terracotta Sentinels are bad, and I don't know why most Cathay players seem to do just 2 Terracotta Sentinels, Miao Ying blobs versus every matchup. I think one of the best ways to play Cathay, and how I've been having a lot of success, is extremely wide armies, because their peasants are so effective, the Jade Warriors are so effective, their crossbows are very effective, and all that stuff. And Terracotta Sentinels, man, they require a lot of healing. They almost never pay for themselves. And if the enemy brings foot characters, they miss very, very often. I have a video recorded but hasn't come out yet, versus Evenstar, who's in this game, where, spoiler alert, I would have beaten him if the Terracotta Sentinels had hit any of their attacks. And, yeah, it's not a full replay cast, it's just me shouting at 2 Terracotta Sentinels that literally can't hit foot characters, and they get killed over the course of, like, 8 minutes. It's very hilarious, very sad, and I almost beat Evenstar. You've tried flying Nurgle builds, but flies seem like they cost way too much. Yeah, they're 900, aren't they? I haven't genuinely tried the Nurgle Air Force, but it seems like one of the few sources of AP and mobility, so I think there's going to be some potential there. Just theory, since I haven't gotten into Nurgle yet. Terracottas have a lot of staying power, otherwise Cathay lacks, so they're kind of forced into bringing them. I disagree. I have had tons of success on Cathay without Terracottas. I disagree, and everyone besides me is wrong. Anyway. I digress. The instant ready up from someone, but there's nothing really to set up in Domination mode. So, Scarbrand and double Cultists of Khorne for Void Lulls. 1 Cultist of Nurgle, Kugoth Plaguefather yet again, and a Soul Grinder of Nurgle for Evenstar. And then we have 2 Bloodletters of Khorne and 1 Nurgling. On the other side, we have... Oh, that feels bad. That feels bad, man. When it's a mirror and one of you rolls Kugoth Plaguefather, the other one rolls actually a Meta Lord. Anyway, we have a Plague Ridden of Nurgle. Wait. That's a hero. Never mind. I don't know where his lord is. I don't know if he even took him. Anyway, Plague Ridden of Nurgle, Cultist of Nurgle, Forsaken, 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 and Forsaken of Nurgles, an Exalted Bloodthirster, double Cultist of Khorne. We have Chaos Warriors with Halberds and Halberds. Cool. Peasant Spear might be the best unit on Cathay's roster. Been looking into ways to make the Crane Gunners, Iron Hail Gunners work too. I've got a couple matchups where I like the Crane Gunners. Iron Hail Gunners, I have a much harder time making useful because they're line of sight issues. One Sentinel if you really need a duelist, but no more than one. I could agree to that. Wide Cathay is great. Well, I disagree with your disagreeing, so take that. Got him. I don't know. I like Cathay. I like... The Skaven main? What? Anyway, I like 20 stack armies. I like going wide. I like lots of ranged. I like lots of things going on in a game. I'm not as big of a fan when it's like two small armies because it feels like there's one fight that matters and that's it. Whereas with wide armies versus wide armies, you can make mistakes in some places and make it up in other places and kind of like... There's much more going on. There's much more interactivity in my mind. When it's like, if two factions with the blob just slam into each other and one person's blob wins, it feels very like... RNG on like dice rolls and also a little bit of my army composition versus their army composition, where I'm much more of I like a lot more nuance in games. Big cluster of the Forsaken, gonna get hit with some Nurgle bombs. Looks like I got a 2-for-1, and I thought it did a damage over time effect, but it looks like it doesn't. Maybe I was mistaken about that. Thought the Soul Grinder of Nurgle had an effect after he hit, but it's not. You've seen them get 1k damage value regularly? The Peasant Spearmen? Yeah, they're super good. I like this map, actually. Not a lot of people do. I think it's kind of interesting, but it can end up in a blob fight in the middle, so I understand the criticism. Alchemist Elixirs can make peasants go truly bonkers for the cost, too. Yeah, I also like Harmonic Convergence on them. The simple wind spell worth like 5 winds of magic. This 24 melee defense, 24 melee attack. It's kind of wild, especially if they have Harmony. Sorry, one sec, I have to clear my throat. I'm back. Sorry about that brief interruption. Exalted Bloodthirster thinks about landing onto the Soul Grinder of Nurgle, decides against it, and gets back up into the sky. It does look like the red army is playing significantly towards the center. Both armies are, though yellow team has not yet committed anything to go down to that 0.3 unlock, which starts in a minute. Meanwhile, 1 unit of Nurglings from the red team will go take 0.1. With these two factions, I don't expect a lot of sneaky plays. Maybe Khorne's dogs, like red team could spawn someone at some point in the game and slip down here and just cap this point while a big blob fight's happening in the middle. Maybe, but with these two factions, I doubt it. That's much more of a play that happens in like Kislev or Cathay games. But we'll see. A very early Plague Barrier of Nurgle summon from Void Laws. That, I'm sorry, Evenstar. That seems weird to me. That you're going to throw that out before the capture point's even unlocked, so it's not going to help you with that, and it's just going to fade away before that even starts. Who is messaging me right now? It's Marsha's birthday today. Shit. I'll message her after this. My stepmom's birthday. Oh, I have to go get her a present. This changes everything. Okay. Sorry, I got distracted. Righty. Chaos spawn, some Flesh Hounds, more Chaos Warriors are piling in from the red team. And for the other side, it looks like just infantry spam. We have Plague Bearers of Nurgle, we have Halberd units, Plague Bearers, some spawn of Khorne, and some Furies as well. Cultists of Khorne, Cultists of Nurgle, Cultists of Khorne, and Cultists of Nurgle. Everybody's summoning all their summons, just dropping them onto the central point. And red team has early capture point 2 and point 1. Point 3 still not contested by the yellow team. I saw some attack orders given to get down here, but it looks like the Forsaken of Nurgle will be first to this area. Maybe they can even take it and then just hold it for a little bit. Some free points, some free damage. Matthew Coffin, you have a good day, sir. I hope the world is kind to you, my friend. Recently played Nurgle vs. Cathay, and my opponent was shocked to find that Sentinels can't hurt foot characters to save their lives. Yup, that's a terrible thing to learn, is that Sentinels suck at killing foot characters. And that's why I think Sentinels are terrible, because foot characters are super freaking common in this game right now. Banal Borps is here. Savage Kiara is back. What up? What up? We currently have a Corn Nurgle mirror in a random Factions and Lords tournament, so that's cool. Our prediction is looking to be maybe correct, as these Forsaken Nurgle will probably cap 0.3, and that'll be a triple cap start for the red team. Good stuff, good stuff. Yeah, especially with support Fleshhounds versus Fleshhounds, they should just win this fight down here and take that point. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Morse. Hard to see if there's any Exalted Aiden clean ones, but the Morse engine should decide this one. There are no Exalted Great Unclean ones. There are none. Doing nice, just some tourneys and Cathay. So, Spawn of Nurgle. Red team is really committing to holding 0.3, which is surprising considering the proximity advantage yellow has to it. But it looks like they're going to go for it pretty hard. Even Star and Void will have to commit slightly more resources to take you back at this point, and that could help red team win the center, but they are sacrificing their presence in the center right now to even do that. So, potato, it'll all even out eventually. Looks like red team is spawning out as many mobility units as they can. Chaos Furies, Chaos Spawn even are kind of fast. Fast for a Nurgle unit. I mean, 42 speed's better than whatever these guys are. 34. So they're trying to just flood in. They still have the point for now, though the yellow bodies are piling up. Slowly taking it back from them. Damage value is going heavily in Evenstar and Void's favor, though. Look at that. There's a 4,000 difference between the two Khorne forces, and then the Nurgles are about even. That's pretty brutal. Iron Hail Gunners, low-key destroy characters if you can keep them clean. Foot characters, the hard part is just seeing them. Sentinels seem better in Domination, but I never use them in land battles. Iron Hail Gunners remind me of Deck Gunners from the coast. They're super short range, so I don't think the comparison is apt. We have Plague Drones of Nurgle. They have come in, and these Spawn of Nurgle are about to die. So Evenstar and Void will get their first point. Evenstar and Void also have more money than their opponent right now. And that actually tracks. That looks like it makes sense. There's not a ton of yellow left up here, whereas red is still streaming in just constantly. A lot of the yellow forces are down here, like we mentioned, trying to take back the third point. Neck gunner, not deck gunners, hand cannons. Oh, I got you. Yeah. Everyone thinking Khorne can go cap and Nurgle hold. I ain't smart. Khorne's pretty fast. Point 1 still held by the red team. 2 is still also held by them a little bit. And 3 is still generating points for now. Now, we do have to get into the quick conversation about... We talked about this in Houseplant's game, where they were slamming in damage value, but they got so far behind in points that all their opponents had to do was hold a couple. And that might also be the case here, because you're getting into the point where, you know, if you get to the point where you only have to hold one capture point, and your opponent has to triple cap you to come back into the game, that can get pretty scary for the force who has to triple cap. I like the VM lad's chance on this. Because what actually is the point? Is it 3,000? Because then you need 2,000 to win. Your opponent can get 4,000 by 2 capping and holding. Yes. So 3,000 is a safe bet for when you can fall back to 1 point. The technical number is somewhere in there where it's like 2,000. Wait, no. 3,000. And then you only need 2,000 more. If your opponent literally has 0 points at 3,000, then you can hold 1 point and just sit there. Yes. The technical point where you could do that is actually coming up very soon. Actually, isn't it just 2,500? Yeah, once they cross 2,500, okay, they just did it. So now, if the red team gives up every other point and piles on to point 1, that would be stupid. Don't do that. But in theory, now they would just win the game off of holding 1 point. So the longer they can hold 2 points or even 3, as they currently still are, the longer they can hold 2 points, they're actually going to take this game. The no contesting of point 1 is a big problem. Yeah, they sent one Nurgling to fight the other Nurgling, but there's some random Forsaken of Nurgle that rallied and are going to come support. As being in ranking place 1, I felt like I should have been in this tournament, not going to lie. Oh, that's right. Kiara, you're rank 1 on the ranked leaderboard just because of the sheer dominance of wins you have. I don't know why they made these things in multiples of 5. Would have been much preferred. Ticks of 1 into 1,000. I could agree to that. It does feel a little artificially inflated when everything's worth 5. I also wouldn't hate if damage counted, like, towards... If you want to have them in multiples of 5, have, like, damage count multiples of 1. So for every, like, 100 damage points you deal, you get a victory point or something. That could be a way to make dealing damage actually matter. Queden, from what I've seen, even in Void likes to play the late game in 3-cap in 1v1s. That's true, but they're running out of time, dude. They're running out of time. They haven't even claimed the middle yet. And they still haven't even claimed their own 3rd point. They still haven't. Why now? What? Hey, announcer guy that randomly tells me a unit's been destroyed. Shut the hell up. There's a lot of units that have been destroyed, and you kept quiet right till now. So you stay quiet and let me handle it. It's my job. I should sit up a little more straight. The big problem here, as somebody else pointed out, as Atlas pointed out, is spot 1 has not been contested at all. So even Star and Void have to take point 3, which they're about to, fair. They have to take point 2, which they're about to, fair. They have to hold both of them, and then walk their slow Khorne and Nurgle asses across the entire map and take point 1, or they lose anyway. It does not matter. The red team only has to hold 1 point to win this game. They can even get triple cap for a little bit, then take 1 point and win this game. That's how far ahead they are on points. Now, even Star and Void are very far ahead on the map state. You can see yellow is overwhelming the middle. Yellow also has more reinforcements coming in than red. They just have more money. They even have more money in their pockets. Like, they're good. Even Star has all of his units out on the field right now. He can't even summon more if he wanted to. That's not the point. The point is you have 2 slow-ass factions trying to get across the entire map, and then you have to outgrind Nurgle in, I don't know, a minute. You have like a minute to take that point back. It's pretty over. So if red team, as we're talking about, pile up on point 1, which they are, and then send just occasional forces to 3 and 2 to be annoying, just to make even Star and Void commit to a little bit of them. But you can see it's too late. Even Star and Void are piling in so many reinforcements. They're going to overwhelm this map. They have so much more damage value. They have way more units, but what will it matter? They have to take point 1 like now. I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself because they still have to get 800 points off just point 1. But what is 800 divided by 5 is what? 40? Wait. 800 divided by 5. No, it's 160. So it's 160 ticks. It looks like we're doing a tick a second. Is it? 6? Okay. It's like a tick a second, so 160 seconds. They have like 2.5 minutes. They have roughly 2.5 minutes to take point 1 and they lose the game. Though, actually, I've been really down on him. It's getting scary in this moment. This is the deciding moment of the game. Because if you triple cap, you're so far behind in allied victory tickets that you will get the comeback bonus for the rest of this game. So they will always have more units than the red team, and they will just swamp them out. And this is the thing that people complain about with domination mode, is it doesn't... The comeback mechanic should work if someone is triple capping, the other guy gets the comeback mechanic. It shouldn't matter about these victory tickets, but I digress. So if they can take this spot, even Star and Void will win this game. But they're getting blobbed down. Oh no, look at all these units streaming in to just do nothing as they slam into the Nurgle forces, and more Chaos Spawn and Chaos Warriors are coming in. I do think the VM lads will take game 1, I think. Man, the American public school system is terrible, isn't it? Hey! Shush your body. I'd like to see you do math on stream. It's stressful. It's actually always better to push early on instead of sitting in camps early. The tickets at the 3-minute mark and unlock. Red being smart, yes. The advisor is really important to the campaign and multiplayer, but a multiplayer just says random stuff. Alright. I think red has it. Even Star and Void have most of their units out on the field. They look at 4,200 value, not value. He has 4,300 bucks. It just doesn't matter. He's not even spending it because nothing's going to get here in time. Yeah. All right. Okie dokie. That's it. GG. GG. Yeah, you're not taking that shit. 5 per tick, 300, so that's 60. They have 1 minute left to take this point. They're not going to do it. That stream of corruption is just going to kill a bunch of Nurgle units. That was some friendly fire. I've played just 2 domination games. The map seems straight up so tight to me. I prefer land at the moment. I like that domination has some good terrains, but I also wish there was a couple domination maps that were more open. Because there can be too much funnel or too many corridors. It's an interesting strategic question. Do you start slow and move all your units into position, or start fast and try to camp early? Yeah, that's kind of why I wish the capture points unlocked at 1:30 or a minute rather than 3 minutes, because then it feels like both armies just kind of sit around for a while, not wanting to engage, but not wanting to miss out on the points. It takes too long to set up, in my opinion. It's the VM lads. Starting off strong. And I was betting on Evenstar and Void to win this tournament. I think they were a pretty heavy favorite. So this is a good sign. Now you have to win 1 of the next 2, which is a lot easier than obviously winning 2 out of the next 2. Next map. I gotta go find it. Eye in the north. Oh, corn map. Oh, I think I know this map. This is probably a good one. Probably. Just have one map being open as fuck desert domination map, literally no terrain. Yeah. I don't wish all domination maps were like that. It just kind of like... It sucks that they're all kind of the same. There's always like high points, low points, and choke points. And that is an interesting map design. That's not interesting when it's the only map design. Is my thought. Corn Nurgle duel out of the way. Out of the way, let's go. That's it. With the random faction generator, can you get the same army again? Doesn't say. Ogre Iron Blaster are limited to 1 max per team. Ogre Gorgers are limited to 2 max, 3 per team. Iron Blaster Manual Fire X-Point will result in a ban. Pendulum is banned. No duplicate spells. No more than 1 net per team. I don't see anything about that. So the random faction generator could give these guys Khorne or Nurgle or both again. No, Queden, you're correct. I was not doubting your map choice. There's only 8 domination maps in total. Dude, picking the Ent Ladder maps for land battles, that was hard. Going through literally every map and then looking at them, and just by looking at them, because we didn't have enough time to just play all of them hundreds of times to make sure they're okay. Just look at them and say, is this fair? Yes, no, and do your best to get a pool so we don't have like 3 maps. And then you get the dumb bullshit like that Turtle Fields map where all the pathing and the coding is fucked up, where I didn't even know that if you click on a unit, like on Turin's stream, the Khorne, Bob Tresh's Khorne Soul Grinder auto paths into the corner of the map no matter what he does, and you can't stop it. Like, you can't just load up that map and go, oh, this map has coding issues. So it's so stupid to try and pick these frickin' maps when they have unseen bugs, and most of them are pretty bad for land battles anyway. So trust me, I know the struggle of picking maps. What's the Iron Blaster Manual Fire thing? All I know is it makes Iron Blasters broken. Yes. I also don't know what it is. Apparently Kiara does. You can go Machine Gun Iron Blaster. Oof. 2v2 land battles. You have one of those tournaments coming up, don't you, Queden? Let me check. Queden contacted me about a bunch of tournaments. I was only around for this one, because next weekend, I'm out of town at Grace's wedding. And the week after that, I am busy as well. Tournament scheduled. Yes, you have a 2v2 serious land battle tournament on March 26th. Yes. Anyway, that cannot have been easy to pick those maps, because all the maps in Warhammer 3 are small. Which, it's annoying when you look at it from the perspective of, like, map variety, but it kind of makes sense when you think of the 7 factions we started the game with. Do you really want Khorne or Nurgle to deal with a large map? Not really. What would benefit from a large map? Cathay. And that's kind of about it, because Kislev and Ogres have mid-range tools, so they're fine on a small medium map. They're fine with it. Slaanesh and Tzeentch are fine on a small map. They're okay. They can get where they want to quickly. So it's like, when you look at the factions they designed around, small maps kind of make sense, because how abysmal would it be to play MP Crossroads with Nurgle? Like, how terrible would that be? You're just waddling forever. Anyway. Sentinel Levale. If you manually fire the Iron Blaster after it shoots, you can fire twice really quick. Oh, okay. Manual fire, let's shoot one shot as normal, then enter first person mode and fire again. Skyjunk manual fire is gross as well. That one is gross. That is gross. I've been using it a little bit to deal with, like, blobs. Your girlfriend is getting married to who? Grace's cousin. Anyway, she's getting married to her own cousin. Yes, that's what that means. Anyway, what were we talking about? Skyjunk manual fire. Yeah, I used to deal with some blobs when I'm Kislev or Cathay, and you just know your opponent's going to blob on you. You can just manual fire down. And what sucks about it is it's bugged, but I wouldn't even need it to be bugged for what I want to do with the strategy. The strategy is, even if it spreads at such close range that you'll hit what you want to hit anyway. But it is bugged that it's way too close of fire, so that's what it is. Nurgle versus Wood Elves on Crossroads. What a time to be alive. That would have been great. Nurgle isn't just fat man waddling. I've seen some pretty good Nurgle games mobility on larger maps. But even his mobility is slow as shit. Like, that's the problem with thinking about a big map. The bigger thing I was trying to make a point about is whether or not a big map is terrible for the factions in Warhammer 3. What faction needs it? Just kind of Cathay, and even then they're fine with medium small maps. But to defend CA, I don't see what a big map would benefit their game at this stage. So I think they just didn't design a whole lot of them. I think once Game 2 shows up, we'll need the Game 2 maps as well, because there's a lot of factions on there that need a big map, but this game, not as much. Skyjunk manual fire makes it actually good instead of a piece of junk. True, though. True. I was going to say something, but I forgot what it was. Oh yeah, the matchups. Hey, Queden. You happy to see Khorne and Nurgle again, but this time with Kislev partners? Are you happy the random faction generator is grinding this as much as possible? Yeah. Lupia 100% agree. Game 2 factions will need them. They'll need them. You can't even test to figure out which factions would benefit from large maps. Testing would be nice, that's fair. But with the lack of skirmish cav in this game, because only Kislev... Yes, only Kislev has skirmish cav and chariots. Artillery is medium range in this game, except for some of Cathay's options. I don't know. There's not a lot of kiting that needs to be done. Like, most of this game is about slamming your army into the other army. So then you don't need a large map. Patch next week. Kugoth gets +1 speed. Is that real? Because I thought the patch was mostly about campaign. But it would be hilarious if he got +1 speed. Just ding, 1 speed. Bottleneck really bad in high numbers. Weird. Wisp is ready. Grave Fertilizer looks like he needs a lot more units in his army. Void looks ready. Even Star looks like he needs a lot more units. Cornus Chariots. True, but do you really kite with his chariots that often? Are they removing infinite ammo from Skychunks? Oh, yeah, you need large mass for 2v2. Yeah, Queden. You snag. Hey, Kugoth gets +1 speed. Let's go. Everything's fixed. Let's go. My video titled Ogres Are Sticky is getting a lot of views. Guys, I think the internet might be gross. I think the internet might be gross. What do you do when they're out of ammo then? Float there menacingly. The VM lads are ready. Even Star and Void are deliberating. Even Star's build is... I don't know if he's done, but he'd have to remove stuff to add anything. Void too. So, every player in this game is out of money. It's just about whether they trade some stuff out. You guessed Ogre Artillery counts as artillery. It does. You dabbled a bit in Corn Chariots, but units... Until Chariots in general are fixed, Blood Trines are better in every way. I feel like Korn's Chariots... Sorry, the Blood Shrine versions. They feel so squishy, don't they? Or is it just me? I feel like if they ever get caught, they just die immediately. And that's not like, oh, my blood shrines, oh, when they get caught, they die instantly, but my opponents are so good. It's like, no. Even my opponents, I just trap them in with like Chaos Spawn or something, and then they get like 2-shot. It's pretty brutal. They can be good, but I feel like they're more fragile than they should be. Benedict Binner, it would be so funny if the Kugoth +1 speed is the only thing they change. It's the only thing they change. That's pretty good. Listen, guys, we know you're having some struggles right now, but trust me. +1 speed on Kugoth. Job done. That's pretty good. Oh, you meant ogres count as... Ogre Artillery counts as chariots. I got you. Even with the healing, they get deleted. Gotcha. All right, blockers coming down. We're into game 2. And can the upstarts, VM Wisp and VM Grave Fertilizer, actually defeat the tournament favorites in a 2-0? Are we going to game 3? Korn and Kislev versus Nurgle and Kislev. I don't know who is favored. I don't know, because like there's so much going on, and that's the point of 2v2. There's so much going on. Korn versus Nurgle is extremely Nurgle favored, 1v1. But then Kislev versus Nurgle is Kislev favored a lot. So you have archers. So is Korn even weak to Nurgle anymore if he has archer support? Well, no. But then the other Kislev has incredible healing from Nurgle, though do they even need it with their own Patriarch healing? I don't know. There's just a lot stacking onto there. So I don't know who is favored here. We'll see. Even with the 0.01% healing solo, it looks kind of dumb. Yeah, got it. If you can get the blood shrines in a blob, the distribution and regen and melee can keep them going and do more than Gore Beasts at the moment. Fair. Yeah. No, I wasn't saying it was a bad unit. They just feel like more fragile than what the unit looks like it should be. Like they're on this big badass motorcycle powered by a demon, and it's gigantic. And then if you get surrounded by some chaos spawn, it's just like and dies. And you're like, shit, I thought it would last a little longer. Yeah, this is a good map. I like this map a lot, actually, in Domination. I think it's very fun. I don't know if Kiara was being sarcastic, but I like this one. Skull cannons do the same thing as well. They regen ammo, so there's probably some potential there. I think the patch is repairing the broken things to make different broken things. Probably. If the Blood Shrine gave AoE healing, it would be okay, but only gets self-healing. That's a good call out, Sentinel. I wish it was a little more supportive. Kislev Corner favorite here. Healing for Corn is just insane. Matt, this is the last thing I'm going to read. Skull Cannons are crap, though. They have damage potential of half of a single Grand Cannon. They really aren't that good into melee. Grand Cannons come out in unit force. Matt, are you the same Matt I was arguing with on one of my videos? Are you that Matt? Are you the dreaded Matt? If so, I permaban you forever, and you are not welcome here. And we will come to your house and kick your shins because we had a disagreement, and ooh woo, I am angry. Skull Cannons are way less accurate. No, it's really good. Always cool. Battles in the middle. Yeah. No, this is good map. Anyway, for the armies, I can announce them as they come because there's slight lag and also reinforcements. For Void Lulls and Even Star, we have Soul Grinder of Nurgle, Cultist of Nurgle, yes, an Exalted Great and Clean One of Nurgle. That is the perfect lord you want to get from a random generator. Good spells and a Mortis Engine. Nurglings, etc. We have double Little Grom from Even Star. A Boyar? Oh yeah, random. Okay, he couldn't pick it. So he has a Boyar, a Patriarch with some healing, and an Iced Frost Maiden of Tempest. Cool. Matt is right. Skull Cannon suck. I think he's Matt from our Lover Squad. Nerf Gorgers and buff Barriets. Calling it. Yes, sorry about that. You should be sorry for having an opinion on the internet. How dare you? No, you're fine, dude. You're fine, you're big chillin'. Alright, for the other side, we have double Cultist of Corn, Patriarch. We have an Ice Witch of Ice, Bear Riders. It looks like 2 units of Bear Riders and 1 Snow Leopard. I think that's a summon, though. We have a real Snow Leopard coming out the back, and we have Bloodthirsters or Exalted Bloodthirsters? Sorry, Bloodletters. Looks like a whole bunch of Bloodletters, some Exalted, some not, Flesh Hounds, and Calcified Dervishes. Nice lag, bro. Thanks. I was working on it. I hate Skull Cannons, too. Yeah. Not a huge fan of them. Some ice spells coming in. It looked like hailstorms. That must be from Even Star. When you have 2 of the same faction, it can be a little hard to tell who's slinging what spells these days. But the red team is off to an early start. They've taken a lot of the battlefield under their control, and they're trying to bottleneck up Even Star and Void in their spawn. And as we talked about a lot today, that can have various consequences to it. Nurgle sometimes likes to be bottled up in his spawn, because then he can get reinforcements quicker, but in general, most factions don't like to be limited where they can go. Random Nurgling generator. It's Matt from Tinder. Yeah. Bloodletters. More Bloodletters, though these are a summon, and it looks like, what are they trying to get to? Are they ignoring Little Grom because they know they just can't kill him, and instead they'll fight these Kossars? That might be a good call. Just take out some of the archers, make sure they can't support the fight at all. Because red team's already in a holding pattern. They don't care about winning this fight. It'd be nice, but it's not what they need. They need to just hold this position and keep Nurgle bottled up, which is fine. There's nothing contesting you here. I don't like having 3 Bloodletters all standing on the same point that's not even unlocked yet. Probably send 2 of them up. Probably the injured one and this full health one. Leave 1 full health one behind to cap. Don't need this much commitment to a point that's not unlocked. But good stuff so far from the red team. There is a bit of a problem down here as the Patriarch's going to start terror routing and popping their Unbreakable passives. The Warbear Riders are already in their Unbreakable passives. And their healing is infinite but slow. So they don't want to get bursted down like this, which they are. Meanwhile, the Cultists of Corn for the red team are just hanging out in a giant pile of Soul Grinders, Dervishes, and Spawn. Probably won't enjoy that for too much longer. So I think Even Star and Void are about to break out of here unless something drastic happens. Does it matter? Don't know. Man, I want to like Skull Cannons. I've had to do well in campaign running groups of 4. Somehow I think that's the death sentence in multiplayer. Yeah, a little bit. Campaign, dude, a lot of stuff is super fun because you can just use it and not give a shit. But when you have limited resources, you all of a sudden have to care a lot more about, you know, like points per pound, I guess you would call it. Early red team triple cap coming in. Though actually I don't have anything standing on the second point that isn't routing, so I don't know if they can hold it. Might be just a double cap to start off the day. That is going to be a brutal spell. What is it, though? Tempest? It's that hailstorm thing is going to come down the side. Nice little dodge here from the Bloodletters. Trying to back up. Avoid some of the damage. Good for them. Demon Star and Void still locked up in their spawn for the most part. They will probably be able to take point 2 relatively soon. I'm getting a little concerned for the red team, considering how much damage they've taken. Look at this. 6,000 to 13,000 is the difference in damage value. That is real bad to start with. Real bad. Let's see if they can hang out. I like spawn camping the enemy with Nurgle Mortis Unclean. I got a game on 2v2 where my Unclean got 9.6k damage value on Silver Spire. Just camp in the forest, they could hardly get you. Yeah. I think red might be in trouble here, though. They may be overextended. Because they tried to bottle up these guys. Instead, they just lost all their units. And now that the points have finally unlocked, you can see none of them are even captured yet, and they've broken out of their point. That might be the first capture? Yes. So there's finally one capture, but look at how many more units yellow has on the field. If you just look at, like, the amount of yellow triangles, everything's yellow. And red's having a real hard time. It's a little scary. A little scary there. Used them a lot to roll lines by firing at almost point blank range and then running donuts through the lines. Just to cut up this. Yes. Corrin's campaign is weird. I've struggled with it to really make it good. It feels like those extra armies you can spawn by raising cities shouldn't just have bloodletters in them, because otherwise, if the AI has something that can kill bloodletters, you're just doomed. Dervishes versus dervishes should be a bounce. It's just an RNG fight, because both of them got the same charge, but there's extra dervishes coming up for the yellow side, so they will take over there pretty soon. Early call, I think red team's going to get rolled in this game. I think they're at just too big of a deficit at the start in damage, but also in units and money. Because that's the fucked up part about how this is going right now, is even Star and Void have more units on the field, and they have the same money. Like, it's not good. Void Law is just insane. Look at that gold damage value on Nurgle. It probably was a lot of Mortis Engine. Probably. Especially on the double Bear Riders and double Patriarchs he killed. Oof. Yeah, oh, I forgot I can look up here. 24 units on the field versus 13. Is brutal. It's brutal. Now each team has 1 point, though it looks like center will be claimed. Yes, it is claimed by the yellow team. And yellow's even making a decent push onto the 3rd point, so they'll probably get a triple cap soon. God damn. God damn. Mixed Furies running around, having a good old time. Just being annoying little bats. Oh, the Doom scenario, though. No, man, Void consistently has 2x the value of anyone else in 2v2 tournaments. That's fair. Yeah. The Corn campaign is the only one I beat so far. Once momentum going, it's ridiculous, but ends up being tedious, I found. Yeah. I was playing with Anticity, and, like, somebody in the comments was like, dude, just play a faction you know in campaign, because it's really painful to watch you learn them. And I'm like, I'm a multiplayer player. I don't know any of the factions of the campaign, so prepare to be disappointed. But Nurgle's campaign mechanics feel fun in single player, but in versus it's just a death sentence because you get units so slowly. Oh boy. Anticity was running at me with Zinch, and I just had to abandon my land because I couldn't get a Nurgling, and like in 4 turns I would unlock the ability to get 1 more Nurgling, and it was like just not gonna happen. And he had a full 20 stack of good units running at me. So now I'm running around with a bunch of lords trying to just stay alive. And the VM lads will concede. They saw the writing on the wall, which, like, don't surrender before you know you've lost the game. But if you have lost the game, surrendering's totally fine, and it's like, if we're all just being real, that saves us a bunch of time from watching a Domination game that has to go to 5,000 tickets that we all knew was just over. And they read the writing on the wall. He's the Wayne Gretzky of Warhammer. If you don't have a plan to kill the unclean, you should probably just avoid it. I mean, that is Nurgle's thing, but he's so good at baiting you into thinking you into making you think you have a plan to deal with the unclean one, and then you don't. You just don't. We'll get the last map up, change the score. This is the last game. Crossing the Sea of Claws. Oh, this map. Okay, I don't love this map, but it's not bad. I don't love this map, but it's not bad. I'm trying to think if any of the domination maps are like, if I get them in a quick battle, I just roll my eyes. Honestly, probably the first one we saw, where it's like, one army spawns here, one army spawns here. There's a straight ahead channel, and there's 2 cliffs you can go up. Honestly, I can't pinpoint why I don't like that map, but I don't like that map. Whenever I get it, I'm like, go next. But I can't, like, I couldn't tell you specifically why I don't like it. I just don't. Anticity, what up? But he has decent towers. Oh, Anticity's here. As soon as I started talking about our campaign. Yeah, how'd your tournament go, dude? Anticity himself was hosting a simplified land battles tournament where he just took domination mode, set the reinforcement funds to 0, and upgraded the starting funds, so you both start out with your whole army. And then his point was, it's a land battle from that point, but you don't need all the rules and stuff of multiplayer, because if your opponent wants to like draw a kite, you're a corner camp, you can just take the center point and sit there and win the game. So, you've been watching that one? Seems like a really fun way to do multiplayer campaign. It is fun. Yeah, it's a fun way to go, hanging out with some people. But like, we have some friends, right? So it doesn't have to be. If you objectively just look at Anticity raffle stomping me on Zinch and versus Nurgle, yeah, that's no fun. But the fun part is that like Maiden and Bowmore are there, so they kind of mix some stuff up. And also you're just with friends, you're shooting the shit a little bit, like teasing each other about things, or like playing battles where Anticity's fighting and all 3 of us join the enemy team and try to stop him. And it's like, you know, so it's kind of fun. And some people are just there, especially because it's Anticity stream. Some people are just there to learn really good campaign mechanics. And I'm honestly just not the guy for that. That's not what I do. So if they like that, they should watch Anticity stream, and he'll show you all the tricks. He'll show you all the efficiency and stuff. I'm like, you know, I like to meme around. I like to have a good time. I give a lot of jokes and stuff. So it's like, I hate disappointing people, but I also like, I see someone come onto my stream and ask for things that like, you're at a grocery store asking them to fix your car. You're in the wrong place. I'm sorry. If you want crisp, clean campaign mechanics, this is not the stream for you. If you want random fuckery, this is the stream for you. Okay. Watching that one? Yeah, Damn the Bot might favor some factions above others. I'm still not a big fan of any of the domination maps, but I don't mind playing them much. Anticity said the stream went really well. Game slightly more cheesy, but well worth the loss of rules. Simplicity is good. You mean Gully. Gully is a map where cannons and artillery wins. If that's what it's called, yeah. Anticity, keep in mind you are extremely tolerant. Jeez. Beaten up by it before, I can get you. Yeah. Yeah. Why don't you come to this channel to learn? You don't come to this channel to learn. What were you thinking? That actually, like, real talk was one of the reasons I made a channel, is I thought there were too many people doing the same thing. And I thought there was a niche that could be filled as, like, more of a hype caster, I guess, where, like, in sports, it's sometimes called color caster versus, like, play-by-play caster. And especially, I watched a lot of League of Legends professional. And it felt like everyone in the Warhammer scene, and this isn't flame, it's a necessary component. Everyone in the Warhammer scene felt like a color caster. They felt straight up professional and like deliberate and knowledgeable. And every game they were like, you know, oh, this guy's pulling off a flank here. That's really cool. Here's why that's a good thing to do. You know, he's brought Fireball. Well, it's good for this and this reasons. And that's just a smart meta thing to do. But there was a lack of hype, in my opinion. And Turin was kind of a hype man, but then he left the scene for a while because, you know, game 2 kind of went into the doldrums a bit, and he did other stuff, and his hand was hurting and all that thing. So there was a lack of play-by-play casters, in my opinion, where it was like, where's the hype? Where's the energy? Where's the tomfoolery? So I entered to try to fill that niche. I don't know. I like it. Lots of screaming. Lots of salt. You enjoy a good cheese versus cheese. It's like there isn't any need to attack to 5 to 10 minutes. Yeah, intensity, yeah. I think we were talking about it with this stream because it's been domination all day. But I wish the capture points unlocked at about 1.5 minutes instead of 3 minutes. I think the same goals would be achieved, but 3 minutes feels like a long time for no objectives. It's been long enough that I think these are the factions we're going to get. We have Slanesh Mirror with Korn and Nurgle supporting. It's just the Korn and Nurgle finals, ladies and gentlemen. That's all it is. Hope you like Korn versus Nurgle, because that's where we are. At least we get Slanesh this time. There's also just not that many multiplayer casters compared to single player stuff, so I'm grateful for any multiplayer coverage. Oh yeah, dude. There's a lot of good channels. There's Logic, Logic_EU. Inticity covers some multiplayer stuff on his second channel. I believe it's just Inticity 2. Murphalurf over on Twitch if you're into that. My son HW, he's been coming back a little bit. He's on Twitch and YouTube. He's easy to find. Turin's come back with the new game, so he's been putting out content. I don't know about Dav. I don't know about Carthage, Heir of Carthage. I don't know what they've been doing, but I don't think multiplayer stuff. I don't know if Zerkovich has been around, but he used to do some stuff. Rubber Duck of War casts a lot of like one-off replays, if that's what you're into. Maybe. Basically a koi, but for multiplayer. Maybe. I think I'll start streaming Total War 2. I did stream back then on Twitch. Do it. Do it. Yeah, Valk thought about making a comeback, but didn't. Sorry, just had a message quick. Yeah, there's a lot of good content out there. Also, when I started, I was kind of filling a small niche because of the interviews I was doing, where it was like, I knew a lot of... I had been in the tournament scene for a while at the decently high-ish level. So I knew a lot of the guys, and I could do an interview series about, like, you know, questions with a pro about Lizardmen, and I knew Bob Tresh because at the time I was in a clan with him, and he was just a cool guy. And I'm like, hey Bob, you want to come answer some community questions about Lizardmen? Sure, let's go. Dark Elves, Ice Power, just DM Ice Power and say, hey, you want to do this? And it's like people kind of knew me because I've been playing with them for over a year at the time. So I also had some connections that made it useful. Try to soak up all the multiplayer you can. It's good. It'll only get better, dude. Trust me, like, if you're just getting into multiplayer now and you weren't a part of multiplayer in Warhammer 2, it's just going to get better. Because this is not as good as Warhammer 2 was. And that's not to say... That's not flaming Warhammer 2. That's saying Warhammer 2 is incredible. And if they get rid of the bugs and add the factions into this game, it's going to be popping. Loopy, you like Bugwatch. Good. If you want hype multiplayer, you gotta do the ridiculous over-the-top introductions to the players, though. There's a lot of new players at Game 3. I don't know them as well. I don't know them. It's hard to joke with, like, players you don't know, because some people might find it offensive. Where, like, earlier I was joking around about Bobman and Rusty and Bob Tresh and, like, Platypus versus Platypus. To be fair, I don't know that other Platypus. But they seem fine. But, you know, I can joke about them and joke around with stuff and say, like, oh, Bobman's just a terrible player. Because he beats me all the time, right? So it's funny because you guys see him beat me. But if I have a new player, there's very little I can do until I know them better. So it can be a little harder to talk about them, where it's like, well, I don't want to make a joke, because if they If they actually don't play Khorne very well, and I say, well, they picked Khorne, so they're just going to get fucking slaughtered, and then they actually get fucking slaughtered, feels pretty bad. Okay. I'm getting a bunch of messages, so I gotta see. Alright, I'll message the players and say, come on, figure it out. Find your opponent. Well, they wouldn't look here. I'll DM them instead. I'll DM Void. I'll say 2 min on builds. FYI. And then I'll message Wisp. 2 min on builds. This is the grand finals. This is the last game, but we also do, you know, have to play the game. Cathay and Nurgle are interesting to think about because they of the challenge to it right now. Then there's the matter of getting good enough to use them. I genuinely didn't know you did that. I really just tuned in for the 2v2 streams. Love that stuff. I'm checking it out. Yeah, we have an interview with Random Nicks about Domination Mode coming up Monday the 21st, so like 8 days from now. Joined at the tail end of Warhammer 2. It was a banger. And it's gonna get back there again. You know, the bugs and stuff happen, but I guarantee you there's no way that this state of the game lasts very long. And when the Warhammer 2 factions get added in, even if it's buggy, when the Warhammer 2 factions get added in, game's a banger. Promise you. If the bugs get fixed before the Warhammer 2 factions get in, game's a banger. So it's like, the only way this game sucks is if they don't release the Warhammer 2 factions and they don't fix any of the bugs, which I think is literally impossible. That's it. So right now, we're rolling forward on the momentum of new stuff is cool and check out all the new stuff. And I'm hoping that that ball slows down just around when they either fix the bugs or release one of the new factions, and then we can keep going. But I don't think CA is going to fuck it up. I think they'll be fine. It's frustrating to wait for them to figure it out, but like, they'll be fine. Khorne is getting slaughtered. It's just more blood for the blood god. Have we had the pleasure of 4 Nurgles in one game yet? We have not. And I'm okay with not having that. So here we are, grand finals. The upstarts, Wisp Fertilizer versus Evenstar and Void, tournament favorites for good reason. Can they do it? I'll root for the upstarts, but I think Void and Evenstar are probably going to take it. Probably. Though, sides have flipped. So last time it was Kislev, and then Nurgle Khorne. Nurgle slaughtered with Void Lulls. But now Nurgle is on the VM, Wisp, and Grave Fertilizer side. So if Nurgle is OP, which we all know he is, they've got an easy clap. Also, actual point, Nurgle is very strong against both Slaanesh and Khorne. That's a real thing. So maybe actually a little bit of a draft diff. Hey, we were talking about it. You get double skull cannons. Let's see if they're good. Chat and myself did not think they were very good, but we're gonna see. You're here to stay, Atlas? Well then, throw a subscribe down, and it's good to have you, buddy. It is good to have you. So, Evenstar's Khorne, right? Evenstar bringing the double skull cannon, saying, chat, you don't know what you're talking about, skull cannons are perfect. Herald of Khorne and 2 cultists. Then we have a couple Chaos Warriors for some chaff. And then Void Lulls' Slaanesh are Hellstriders, 4 Marauders with spears, 1 with just Marauders, and Nekari. Nekari with Lash of Slaanesh. Again with the Lash of Slaanesh. I personally think that spell is trash, but I don't know. Void and Even are 2 of the best players in the entire world, so they must know something I don't. Okay. The other side, an exalted, greater, and clean one of Nurgle, the perfect lord that you want for this. Mortis Engine, good. Good. Spells. Mortis Engine, good spells. Double Soul Grinder of Nurgle using Void Law's own technology against him. There was a kind of famous replay at the end of one of my King of the Hill streams where Void Law's kited Zinch on Nurgle using double Soul Grinder and just running around the map. So that's a pretty funny callback. Herald of Slaanesh on a little Hellstrider mount. That's pretty good. Triple Chaos spawn of Slaanesh, and then Marauders of Slaanesh across the front line. Interesting start. I don't love the red army at the moment, but okay. It just gets shot in the face. Whoa! That's an early summon. Oh, they're Furies. Okay, of course. Yeah, they're Furies. They're fine. I was thinking that is way too early to throw out one of your summons if it was a Demonette, but still. Nurgle trying to bombard on the high ground. Looks like they're aiming for some of these Marauders of Slaanesh. Okay, damage. Skull Cannons, both fighting the Great Unclean One. And in a land battle, it would be like, okay, nice job shooting him, nerd. He's just going to heal up. But in domination mode, this guy's got to last the entire game. So that damage is already actually quite punishing. Furies are going to dive very early into a Skull Cannon. And they're actually just giving it more ammo as it sits in melee combat. They don't really threaten it. There is no possible world that these Chaos Furies can kill the Skull Cannon. And it has regen and it gets ammo back from fighting. So I think that was just a mistake from the red team. Not trying to be a dick, just saying what I think. Exalted Great Unclean One's not having a good time with these Skull Cannons. He's already missing a quarter of his health, which you can heal up. But again, there's only so much you can heal in this entire game. And this is no good. Red is funneling in a little bit right now. I'm not a huge fan of that. This play right here is fine, but this center is not my favorite. Just walking in one spawn at a time. Nakari's going to beat up on your Herald of Slaanesh Lord. Exalted Great Unclean One taking a lot of damage. Soul Grinders aren't really committing. They need to shit or get off the pot in the middle here. They can't do neither. They need to pick one and go for it. On the far side, red team is going to take an early cap over there, but Khorne Warriors are something else. And versus Slaanesh, they're very hard to deal with. So only Slaaneshi units being up here will be pretty bad. Looks like those Soul Grinders of Nurgle did more damage to their own forces than the enemy, which is a little unfortunate. Exalted Great Unclean One's down to about half health. And even Star and Void are probably feeling pretty good about the start here. Whip is cheap in Magic and triggers the passive. Yes. Rusty is back. Rusty, one of the semi-finalists. Nurgle has been in every finals game. There was a Nurgle mirror, then there was a Nurgle on one team, and now the Nurgle's on the other team, Rusty. So there's been 4 Nurgle in 3 games. Don't worry, you're being prepped. Plague Toads are supported by Hellstriders against Hellstriders, and Furies are going to get a rear charge that'll rout them off. And in the middle, shut up about one of the units being destroyed. I know, I was here. Doesn't look like it mattered. Both the cultists are here, both the Skull Cannons are here, they're fine. They're big chilling. I'm scared. Grave Fertilizer has the most damage value in the game, but Wisp's Nurgle is not Voidlaw's Nurgle, and it's falling a little bit behind. I don't really believe in the Soul Grinders ranged attacks. They don't feel like they do very much. And this fight suddenly went to shit as Khorne Halberd arrived. Khorne Halberds will really change how this one's going, and that's brutal. Wisp is trying to support Grave Fertilize over here, but there's just so many more units for Evenstar and Void. And Evenstar and Void feel like they're winning kind of every fight. I guess they're routing up there, but goddamn, it doesn't feel good. And this really doesn't feel good. That oh, green was capturing that point, but it turned red at the last second. Anyway, this doesn't feel good. In my opinion, and in the damage score, Void and Evenstar are winning most of the fights. And now that you have double capped, you're soon going to get ahead of them, generating them more money through the backup mechanic. Sorry, the catch-up mechanic. I'm clearly tired, been streaming for a bit here. So they're going to get more units and kick your ass even harder and then push you back into your spawn, which we kind of saw in Game 2. There was an early forfeit, but this is largely what happened. Is Red Team took a too aggressive fight at the very start, closer to their enemy's reinforcements, got pushed back, and then could never reclaim the map. And I think we're going to see a similar thing. You want the upset here? Everybody starts playing music from the Rocky movies? That would be cool. I always love an upset. Benedict is right. Lash is cheap and gives you free melee attack with the short cooldown. True. If that is your plan, though, I don't love pairing it with such an expensive spell like Slicing Shards. Because then, if you're just going to spam them, why bring this? Or if you want to spam Slicing Shards, why bring this? It just It feels a little counter-synergistic to me. Looks like that's a red team slicing shards, and it is going to do good work on some of the yellow units in the area. Yeah, it does okay. These are just Marauders of Slaanesh, though. They're not that upset about being killed. Red team is trying to hold this high ground. There's a lot of Khorne warriors coming in, though. And they're significantly better than the units I see up there. Unless those are Forsaken. Nope, they're Marauders. I think even Star and Void will take that position. It's only a matter of time. They have very much secured point 3. And red team is holding on to point 2 in the center decently well. Double Skull Cannon Kite's still going okay, but now they're out of ammo. They will have to commit to the melee for just a little bit and get some ammo back. There are some nice juicy Nurglings you could charge into for that ammo generation without any risk. Soul Grinder of Slaanesh is going to get 3v1'd, but a quick Rampage cast onto the Herald of Slaanesh, who is very low, and Nakari going to come in with a rear charge. No way he misses, and he misses, just because I said that. Looks like we have a Slicing Shard from the yellow team. Even Star's casting it. There is a dodge from the Nurgle forces of Wisp, but it looks like Grey Fertilizer did not get the memo. He does get caught in there a little bit. Nakari will very soon take out the Herald of Slaanesh, and the Double Soul Grinder of Nurgle are close behind. Damage value is very even between Grey Fertilizer and the other two, but Wisp on Nurgle is just falling so far behind on contributions to this fight. Central point still held by the red team. Top point held by the red team, but not for long. There's too much Khorne force coming in. They're going to lose that very quickly. The catch-up mechanic. You love the random faction lore generator. I haven't picked a faction for a while now and have more fun. It's pretty good. I'm guessing you're part of Queden's 2v2 server then? It's a good place to find some chill games. Can recommend. Void Demon Star are down about 2-1 in the capture points. But I worry. Oh, I worry for the red team. Mass route coming in the center. And you can see that point start to tick up a little bit for the yellow side. And over here, this is also ticking up a little bit for the quote-unquote green, even though it's yellow. Pick color and stick with it. Pick color and stick with it. Over the goddamn shit. Make me stumble over my words and look like a fool. Hellstrider's going to chase off these units that are crumbling and or routing. Nearby enemy flanking units will make sure these guys keep crumbling. And that is Tool Soul Grinders off the field. Our Skull Cannon's doing very healthy. Where's the second one? There he is. Very healthy and healthy enough. Both have ammo from fighting Nurglings and stuff in melee combat. The lead on the points is 2-1, but that is not nearly enough considering how far behind you're falling at this moment. We have 12,000, 13,000 between the red team, so 13,000 versus 20,000 damage value on the yellow side. That is a brutal lead for even Star and Void. They have claimed the center point. They're about to triple cap if they take point 1 soon as well, which they will. Now, you are at the point in the game I personally wouldn't forfeit just yet. It looks bad. They're definitely down, but they're not out like they were the previous game. Previous game, they were out. They're fucking done. This one, it's early enough in the game that if you get triple capped against even Star and Void, they'll pull ahead in points, and you can actually start to get a little bit more fun generation and maybe scrap your way back in. Maybe? No, it looks bad. I'm not trying to pretend, it's an even game. It's close, but it's not over yet. I don't think they should surrender just about now. Even Star and Void have pushed everybody fully out of the center. They completely own that. They still dominate this other side with the third point. Up here is a pretty brutal scrap. Looks like the Kari is just going to heal up from all that's going on up here. Probably. Do you have your healing ability? You better. Nope. Nope, there it is. Yep, so you can heal when stuff gets destroyed around him or is running away. That is a mass route. Nurgle and Slaanesh are starting to get bottled up into their spawn. Looks like a little bit of a desperation play coming in from the red team. They're just trying to get Seekers of Slaanesh and Nurglings onto point 3 just to cap it with the sheer bodies and not really focus too much on holding it afterwards. Even Star and Void have gotten point 1 now. It's pretty much official, and that'll be a triple cap, soon rocketing them ahead on the score. Thanks, announcer. There's been a lot of victory points captured in this game, but thank you for just now deciding to scream at me. I appreciate it, you dumb piece of shit. Skull Cannon's got tons of ammunition back from rampaging through this front line, and they're still going to keep going. There's no mass here to stop them, and even a Slicing Shards cast, that's brutal. And we were all shitting on skull cannons earlier, but look at them go. Look at them go. In the hands of Void Laws, an infinite ammo chariot, an infinite ammo regenerating chariot is powerful if there's no mass to hold it in place and kill it. Now it's feeling a little over. The triple capped point, all your units are dead. 17 out of Even Star's 20 units are on the field. 8 out of Void Laws is 19, and he has 1,000 supplies. The other side, you have 7 and 6 between you, and you have less money than your opponents. That feels pretty bad. I think Even Star and Void got it. It's a damn shame. It was a good series. It was a good series, but brutal. It's brutal out here. Nurgle beating utterly worthless on value. Yeah. Though Void had the most value on Nurgle in the entire game last time. So it really does just depend on, one, who's playing him, how you're playing him, of course, but also it does matter what you're playing against, apparently. The champs retain their title. They really do. That's a GG. That was a good tournament. Every series went to a rubber match. If you ignore the fact that the finals was a best of 3 and everything else was a best of 1, then technically every game went to rubber match. Even Star and Void did win, as we predicted, but let us not go without celebrating VM, Grave Fertilizer, and Wisp. It was a good show, lads. You really put it out there. Taking Void and Even Star to 3 games is a task I could probably not do. Even in Void will take your lunch money again. It is looking that way. Thanks to them all for playing. Really good show. And that is it for this stream. Tomorrow, I'll be playing in Rubber Duck of War's tournament, so I don't think I'll be streaming that, but I will stream something either Tuesday or Wednesday. I'm going to put up a poll on my Discord and on YouTube just after this video ends, so watch out for that. It votes on what tournament we'll be hosting next on this stream. Now, I didn't host this one. Queden did, right? But I will host my own tournament Tuesday or Wednesday. Be sure to vote on that. Vote on the content you want to see. That way people can't complain that shit's boring. If it's boring, you picked it, so sounds like your problem. All right. Good. Thank you to Queden for hosting this. Thank you to everybody who played, and I hope you all have an excellent Sunday. Cheers.